Okay, we are going to play Welcome to Nightville today. I'm going to explain some rules mechanics before we get started. It runs on several small sort of dice mechanics. One of them is called, I'm going to start with an easy one. It's called Snag and Edge. So if you don't have skill in something, you are going to roll a D2 D20, and the worser D20 is the one you're using for your base of your roll. So that's a thing that you might want to keep in mind. Edge is the opposite thing, where you're going to roll 2d20 and then take the better one. Okay, so that's snag and edge. Any questions?
Actually, I do have a question.
Sure.
Are we rolling digitally? I don't
You
have
can you
dice.
can do that. You can roll digitally. You can roll real dice. I do not check your dice. I'm not that guy. So you can just feel free to tell me what the number is. Okay?
Okay. Any of y'all have a online dice roller thing you'd recommend?
Sure. I'm sure one of these guys could put a dice roller in chat, or you could literally just type in like dice rollers for, you know.
I think I use a different one every time. I try to use my real dice, but when I do use a dice roller, I use a different one almost every time.
So this is one that uses what they'll call the polyhedral set, like the basic, polyhedral set, which is basically like you got your D20, your D6, your D8, that set. No
Hmm.
weird extra types of dice, but your basic set.
I
So
I I always have at least one of my characters from D&D Beyond pulled up
yeah,
specifically so that I can roll dice whenever I need to. So if
Hmm.
you
I
have
mean,
D&D Beyond and you can pull that up on your phone, just jump over, roll there. That's what I do with this.
I use my phone with I have a little teeny. It looks like a teeny dice table, and I can like flick the dice on it.
Hmm.
It's kind of satisfying. It's like a little like cheesy phone app,
That
for
does
my
sound
rolls.
satisfying.
The only problem is if you tilt the phone, it's like tilting a table. So like it'll go rolling everywhere. Um, but yeah, that's a thing. So feel free to look up dice rollers while I go through explanation, I guess. Um, so skill checks are done pretty interestingly. It is literally a die added to your roll. So depending on what your skill in something is, it is a d20 plus whatever that extra type of die is, and that's the roll. So basically, like if you have a brawl of a d6, it's a d6 and a d20. Now, the snag and edge thing might apply before that, but it's going to be like roll and that is your basically your response to something. So that is going to be how you fight difficulty of checks. Difficulty is something I'll set or another player might set against you, but that's the basic idea. Now, interestingly, if the situation is in your favor, your type of die goes up. So if you can start from a D6, shift up to a D8, shift up to a D12, shift up to a D10, shift up to a D12, depending on how good the situation is. So like if let's say your opponent is in a pool of mud that is sinking, it's a lot easier to hit them. So feel free to go up a shift in their difficulty, in your favor. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's just uses basically a base die, and then that base die could switch. So it's a little different from like having like a flat bonus. It's literally giving you a die plus your d20. So like you're like, and then a critical is basically you would roll all the dice up to that. So like if you're d6 in a skill, you'd also get to roll a d4 and a d2, and you'd roll all three of those and be like, what's the highest out of this set? Okay, that's my bonus. You know what I mean? It took me a little while to grasp on it. That's going to be one of the little, like I said, one of the sticky points is going to be figuring out how to play it through. But it shouldn't be that bad. It's not too complicated.
Hmm.
Um, any questions before I move on? I know that was like a bunch of stuff. So
Apologies ahead of time. I'm probably going to ask you to repeat stuff a million
it's
times once
gonna
we get
happen.
going.
Don't worry about that.
I
It,
appreciate it.
I just
Oh,
basically just look at your sheet and see like what type of die plus your d20. Most of the
Hmm.
time, that's generally how rolls go.
All
and
right.
and so that proficiency die can only go up. It can never go down. Sounds
No.
like.
Depends on the situation. If you
Oh,
are pressured in a situation that is very tense or like combat is going on and you have to do something very tactile and like that, your die can shift down, which is they call it
oh, see,
shifting.
okay, all right. So I thought that was where the edge and snag might come in.
Edge and snag come in before that roll. So it's like
Oh, all right.
this
So
situation is
everything
bad. Right.
everything can go bad for you. All right,
You
cool,
could
cool.
yes,
All right,
you could have
or everything can go good for you.
right.
Yes.
You could have bad dice and have bad skill. So you could be like, I'm doing something I never thought I would do, but also it's in a situation I don't like.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
that can
Yeah.
happen. It's rarer.
Okay.
It's usually
Okay.
one or the other, not both, but it can happen. You
Okay.
know,
Okay. I got you now. I'm following.
right. But on the other hand, monsters and other things, and monsters is a question mark, have to do the same thing. Like if I am in a situation that's poor for me, I have to be like, well, he definitely is not going to be as good at that. You know, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so that's basically the way all the roles, the major roles work. A lot of it is just like using the D20 plus the specific skill die and then shifting up or down based on the situation. You'll notice a lot of the icons will have like an up or down symbol. That means a shift. So it'll be like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be like, let me see if I can find one. So you can either do a maneuver or you can blunt damage up or down. Like you could, basically, depending on the situation, you could shift the damage. Like if you're using both hands and you get like your feet planted in the ground, right? Like you could have better damage.
Mm.
You know.
Gotcha.
All right.
Hmm.
So we have three thinking characters, which is great because of the scenario I decided to pick. I'm glad we didn't pick like a big combat one because I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that just wasn't I dude, so you can do combat in it. There is enough in the system for actual combat and movement and things like that. But I always felt that Night Vale is a very uh, it's a tactile place, right? It's not necessarily about the fighting. There is almost no mention of like there's combat, but it's not like D&D combat, right? It's like a generalized combat.
Well, it
Hmm.
feels again. You said that you'd played a similar thing in the Call of Cthulhu setting, and Call of Cthulhu isn't really supposed to be a
Right.
combat
That's
heavy
why I
thing.
use
It's
Call of
more
Cthulhu.
it's more cerebral. It's more figuring out the mystery and solving it as opposed
Right.
to beating it up.
But the interesting thing about the mystery in a Night Vale setting is the mysteries can be very, uh, like, what the hell?
Yeah, yeah,
Why,
yeah, yeah. I
why
get
does
that.
this exist? Why
Yeah,
is this
yeah,
a thing?
sure.
Um, okay, so I'm gonna go around so that we can have it for record what each of your characters are. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll
Mm-hmm.
start with Cormac, I guess, and then we'll go. For me, it would be going left, but just one, then the next, then the next. You know.
Mm-hmm. Um, Cormac is a literal, and I'm gonna go five-headed dragon because again, it says each of the heads knows a type of law, and there's five listed, so I'll just go with that. But this is a literal five-headed dragon, and they are listed as large. I mean, probably close to 10 feet tall, but like really probably actually closer to like 12 or 13, but they're hunched over. They almost look old and decrepit. They walk with a cane. They have wings, but their wings are kind of shriveled and small, clearly not for flying. The Their tail is generally kind of like not dragging, but slapping against the ground as they walk. Um, Two or three of the heads have glasses on. They all speak with slightly different accents, and I'm really going to try to lean into that as much as I can. Um,
Good luck on
uh,
that, buddy.
but they have like impeccable clothing. Like the clothing that they have on, they don't have shoes on. They still have their big dragon feet, but they have a really well tailored, flashy, three-piece suit on. They're always carrying a nice briefcase. Um, they drive a really nice sports car. They like they obviously used to go fast and they still like to go fast, even though in their older age they don't. Very knowledgeable about the law. I would imagine, unless your character has had a lot of legal trouble, you have seen this character at some
Hmm.
point, but you probably have never interacted with them. They they're workers that they're
Okay.
there for the law, and they're there to help people through legal issues.
All right. Wow. All right. That
That was a
is
mouthful.
Yeah,
that was impressive for a pre-gen. All
yeah.
right.
You know me. I
Next up.
think about this stuff too
No,
much.
no, no. That's fine. I appreciate it. Who wants to go next? Oh,
Desmond
okay.
Florentine is a student at Night Vale Community College where art meets science. He is a lifelong hobbyist and collector of bizarre and um, unique things, and so he's trying to um, learn how to sort of see through the veil of life and see how things really are and how to manipulate them through art and paint and science and how to blend them together and make them bend to his will.
Interesting. So just basically like reminds me of like almost like a Lovecraftian cultist, but like one step from being like on the far end. Cool.
Yeah, yeah, kind of.
All right.
I vibe with that.
All right. And speaking of vibes, what's your character like?
All right. I am Brad. I am a literal scorpion, but identify more as a crab. Um, Due to a vow of pacifism, I don't use my tail, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and as mentioned before, do that as more of a crabs don't have tails, so
Right, right.
yeah, he has no use for that. So he's a bit of a daydreamer. He has an absolutely lovely little apartment, which is actually just kind of an upside down bathtub out in the sand wastes.
Does he invite people by? Like, is he like, this is my apartment?
He totally
Like,
does.
he's just
Invites people for tea.
he's decorated the inside of his tub, right? You know.
Has like little Art Deco like scratches all over it.
Okay, interesting. So you live outside of the town then. You don't really like you come to town, but you live distant from it.
Hmm. Are the sand wastes far from
The
town?
sand wastes are like a decent clip from town. You could see the town from the sand wastes, but the sand wastes are like not like within norm. Most people don't drive out to the sand wastes unless they're there to bury boxes or something.
Hmm.
Like that's that's the only reason. Really, the only reason people go out to the sand wastes is to A, bury boxes, being either too short or too tall, one of those dudes, or
Oh, those
having
dudes.
you're flying your big black helicopters across the sand waste, like just for doing a tour or something. You don't usually go out there for no reason, you know. You could live there, that's fine. No one bothers you, though occasionally you might have to like, avoid the occasional, black car, car or SUV as it travels through the sand wastes.
Damn tourists.
But other than that, it is pretty quiet out there. Sorry, just went on a sand waste segue. All right, so those are our three characters. Um, because it's a one shot and to make things much easier, um, does your character enjoy human things? What I mean is, would they go hang out and get a coffee? I know it sounds kind of silly, but is your character the kind of character that enjoys human things? Because
Oh,
apparently
definitely.
okay. I'm
Absolute
just
hipster.
I'm just making sure. And it's very easy for me to get Cormac and Desmond into a coffee shop because of what they do. One is a lawyer, which I so totally expect he's going to order the most ridiculous thing ever that was ordered. And Desmond is a student, and he's probably up all night. So it's very easy for me to see them in a coffee shop. So it's probably where they're going to end up being, if that's cool with you guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Unless you guys have some other starting point you really want to go with, I think coffee shop is probably the easiest thing that makes sense. All right. So, go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
One other thing I'd love to add to my character,
Sure.
to kind of cover up the tail.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he'd wear like a little foam finger on that, like one of those little foam #1
How about,
fingers.
is he okay with the Nightfield Scorpions? Like, you know, like he has like little foam finger for like the
Hell yeah, big
for the
fan.
big fan. He's,
It
I
says
mean,
in his pre-gen he's a fan
I'm
of that
not.
team, so it's perfect.
Yeah, okay. So he has a little foam finger to cover it because why? Yeah, I don't want that. It would injure somebody. But he feels like he's being supportive in the community by wearing it
Yeah, it's for cheering, not for
for
stinging.
cheering. All right. Um. All right. So our scene will take place soon. Let me read some prearranged stuff I had for us. This is for my own amusement probably, but uh, just before you guys start to arrive, you'll hear on the radio. This is a story about them, the ones in the coffee shop, a coffee shop on a Thursday afternoon. And it just comes all over the radio for no apparent reason. As you guys are just sort of sitting there getting your orders, um, the best way to describe it, this place that you're going to be arriving in or already in, is it's your typical like uh, some people might know, like a lot of us are locals here, so it's like that Thayer Street, you know, cat brew house, you know, like wood paneling, and you got like all the stuff up on the walls, right? And you know, just the big vats of you know, like coffee beans in the back, so you can choose what kinds you want. It's a kind of like an upper class place, you know. But I just figured I would give you a little bit of setting there. Um, let's see now. I'm going to go through each of you guys because I know ordering coffee is the easy answer, but what would you guys be up to on a Thursday afternoon at, you know, at a coffee shop? Do I can go one at a time.
Cormac would be ordering something that doesn't really even look like coffee in in a like what are those in the in one of those Gatorade containers that they use to dump something that large that you use to dump Gatorade onto a coach after a
Just because
like
of his size.
it's just a massive tankard like coffee cup that just says don't fork with me.
So the barista the person who's working behind the counter, who has the body of what looks mostly like an elm tree, understands the order. She shakes her leafy head at you, and will help you, help fill your gigantic coffee, your giant coffee container. I don't know if that's called for you. It's a coffee mug, but
It's a mug. It's just a mug, but to everybody else, it's like one of those gothic beer steins. It's just a massive, massive thing. It looks like something that a giant would drink.
there.
But again, they are this person is a giant.
Now I
It's like a
want
full coffee carafe. It's like I'm gonna brew
Yes.
a pot of coffee, except my pot is your cup.
Uh-huh.
I think more like it's like someone has a tanker of ale. Like that's the scale we're looking at. Like that's what I'm thinking when you say that. Um,
It's a solid 2 gallons at the very least. You know what I mean? It's massive. Possibly even bigger. Maybe it's like 5 gallons.
because it's
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like it's as big as a Poland Springs water,
Yeah, that's the right size.
and it's clear, and like I said, it just says "Don't fork with me" in white letters. It doesn't make any sense. Nobody gets everybody understands what it's saying, but nobody understands how it applies to anything. It's just
So
stupid.
to describe what's going on, a lot of the staff, you as you would expect, are baristas. Baristas is pretty much like if you were thinking like a D&D class, that's baristas in this world. So there are
Hmm.
like people wearing like full. It's almost like kind of like something close between like what a gypsy might wear or like a traveling show kind of gear, and they have like all sorts of like coffee implements on themselves. So there are a few baristas working. The person serving you is like an elm tree humanoid, but they're serving staff and not professionals. They're just filling the tanker. Um, Now, I want you to know, because the way coffee shops work, they're working on your order, but they're like, there's now a line building because he is like, they're filling his coffee thing. And while people are processing orders, the main coffee thing is basically being taken up by this giant jug that he's now filling in the background. Uh, Desmond,
It's
for fun's sake, I'm going to say you're in line behind Cormac. That's where I'm going to put you.
it's
That's my
bright.
start.
The drink is
Gee,
bright
gee,
red. It,
save some for the rest of us.
the drink
I
is
mean, maybe
bright
maybe you
red.
could start
It
with half a cup for starters.
Look, Sonny, this is my first cup of the day. Don't fork with me. See, it says it on the cup. And like one of the heads is on the phone, like talking like way too loud, like, "Oh yes, that is right. We need to get the forms in as fast as we can. We don't want to fork with this anymore."
Believe I don't I haven't even had any coffee today. I don't want to fork with you. I don't want to spoon with you either. But if I don't get my coffee soon, I might knife you.
Okay. For of course, at the end of this like argument, there because of the way the counter is, and it have to be this way. Brad's probably like perched on the they're in line, but they're like perched on the counter, waiting for their order probably to be done as well. So three of you are kind of like just waiting for this guy to get his stuff finished. Um, okay.
I
Um,
think they want you to wait down there for pickup. He's gonna point to the end of the counter.
his pickup is like taking up like most of the counter.
Oh,
Cormac clearly turns to go the direction that you've pointed and hits you with their tail and and just continues to lumber along slowly.
hey, watch out.
So I was gonna ask Brad. There seems to be
Mhm.
some sort of altercation in front of you. Do you get involved, or you just sort of, you know, click away on the counter waiting for your for your turn in line?
I brought my own one of those little novelty cups you can buy from coffee shops to get free refills,
Hmm.
and I'm wearing it on my back like a hermit crab. So I just kind of like duck myself under it to avoid
Oh, he doesn't want to be involved. Okay.
to avoid the tail swoosh as
Yeah.
as he turns, and I just kind of like peek back out from under it.
All right. Um, Somewhere in the midst of they're finally finishing his order, and now you can go, Desmond. Uh, Somewhat at the back, you start hearing like the weirdest, like so Latin, weird, like a bunch of languages, like all mixed and distorted and like singy-songy, way at the back of the coffee shop. Like just a lot of just racket for like a solid, like as you're in line, it continues like as you're in line. Just figured I'd let you know. Just a lot of noise back there.
You know, I
Do I
leave the house
right?
one time to get a drink, and I run into all the jerks.
It's definitely
It's not usually like this. It's usually much smoother. Today is an anomaly.
Just lucky, I guess.
So yeah, there was definitely like a whole lot of noise going on down there. Um, Patrons are
Do I
just
see who's making the noise? I mean, like
yeah.
how?
If you kind of like squint and look down that way. Let's see. What do we got for tests here? Smart, speed, social. This isn't really that far. At the back, you do see what is making the racket. You see a large angelic form, and I don't mean like angel like you would picture in like a D&D or like a fantasy novel. You see like multi-winged, multi-eyed angelic being back there. Hold on, let me give you a quick picture of what I mean. Just give you a heads up. But it is making a racket on its neck. If you squint really hard, you can see it has a necklace that says Erica on it, and is just sort of singing, songing, and being annoying back there. So yeah, that's what's going on. Uh,
So I'm gonna kind of look that way, squint, try to see. I see the biblical angel.
the
Not
yeah
my,
the
not my angel, not my heaven, not my monkey, not my zoo. And then I go back. Can I get a French press coffee? Something like real, like concentrated, real gritty. Lots of make sure there's lots of almost chalky and bits and then a shot of espresso to really amp it up. I need something to power me through the day. I'm looking to tear through the space and time continuum to find what I need. What I need. That's what
okay.
I need.
She'll the Elm. Well, we'll call her Elma. Sure, Elma, the elm-shaped woman, will bend her. She has to bend her body more towards you, so you hear like a creaking noise as she puts her head kind of next to you, and so she can hear you because the other lady is being such a racket. And then she's like, "Yes," and then she'll bend back up. You'll hear the creaking of her wooden limbs, and she puts in your order
You
with a
should have
clickety
those
clack.
oiled.
She doesn't have her oiled. She's made of wood. She's literally like half tree. It's like creak. It's like telling an ant, "You're too slow." You know, like sorry.
What kind of I apologize. I missed what kind of a creature Zeppo's character actually is. Human or
He's just a
He's
college student, I
human.
think.
He's feeling a little insecure. He's only bipedal,
hmm
uh,
hmm
There's
and
plenty of humans here too.
he's a human.
only the half a head? Okay.
Yeah, only half of the fuck. Yes, you were just a human dude who's a college student. There are plenty of humans here too. Any Nightville community is both made up of a good chunk of just regular people, and then things that would be in a D&D monster manual. You know,
hmm
it
hmm
just happens to be how life here is. So in a way, it's not unusual to be a human because it's just as unusual to be a river rock that talks. You know, I'm just saying, there's a professor that's a literal river rock. Um,
It's all good. We're on the level. I
Mm.
celebrate our differences.
okay.
I mean, you might be a five-headed dragon or a scorpion hiding underneath a hermit crab shell. So it's all good.
I peek out from under my little coffee cup, just one of my
Uh-oh.
little claws, and I just go, Excuse me, sir, that's crab. That's crab. But thank you."
Oh, you got a lawyer right on the other side. This is gonna go great.
He says that he is open-minded, but he is clearly not. One of the head shouts. I'm gonna end up with like 20 different voices for
Hey
the
man, you
five
wanted
heads.
to do all of the heads. You did. I
Uh-huh.
did not say
Uh-huh.
you
Uh-huh.
had to do all of your heads.
No, I am doing this to myself.
Uh,
I
okay.
respect the hustle,
He
man.
looked at the dragon head that just spoke to him and said, "Hey, I know you take up half the cafe, but can you at least like side shuffle that way?"
Oh, he's so understanding, that guy. So great. Some of them,
It
by the way,
it
when you say that,
it would be nice if you could take up half of the conversation.
so as you said something about his height and like him taking up so much space, there are people that are his size in this place, and they kind of look. One of them might look a little offended. I'm just saying. I don't know if you want to like try to calm that dude down, but there was somebody who had like it was like a literal giant who had like the eye
They
and everything. Looked
give
over at
like
you.
that side glance, like a Rodney Dangerfield, like. But you, no, not you. You look beautiful.
I like you make a
It,
roll on that, buddy.
You want me to roll on that?
Yeah, yeah,
all five of
Oh,
my heads,
yeah.
all five of my heads catch eyes with the other
You are starting.
large creatures,
Yeah.
and just kind of give that head shake to them, like, yeah, these
This guy, right?
these little things, man. They don't understand what it is to be big.
So what I
It
want
ain't
you to
easy.
do you have a social skill that you could use at all, Desmond? Let me look at your sheet real quick. Let's culture, art, fitness,
weird.
performance. Weird is if you're investigating something that is unusual, and I mean
Yeah.
unusual for Night Vale. So basically, you're going to be doing like a straight D20 and a social skill. I'm not giving you snag because this isn't like you. This is talking to people. They want to listen to you generally. So the social and your D20, please.
What is my social? So
So
what is?
so I'm gonna give you your social is what, 5? So let me look at a character
Oh,
sheet.
I see social 5.
Yeah, let me just look at a character sheet because I don't know what your base
And
modifier
there's
is.
there's also there's also persuasion. I think isn't that persuasion at the
He
close to the bottom,
does.
or maybe he doesn't have that.
He does not have persuasion. That is not a
Oh, okay,
skill that
all right.
he
Oh,
has. So I have to
not
figure out
everybody
what
has the
his
same. Not everybody has the same
right.
set of.
I
I
have to
I literally
figure.
just looked at this character sheet.
I have to figure. This is why we're doing this. I have to
Yep,
figure out
yep.
what his base number is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It might literally be just a D20, but I want to check character sheet to make sure
Hmm.
quick
and
question for
see.
you, Brian.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Um, does this system have a way to do like assists?
Yes, there are ways to do assists, which we could look at also. If do you want to do that? Because that's something else I got to look at, which is
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, I'd
Uh,
love to see if I could help out to kind of like dissipate a little bit of the tension because like it's kind of in my best interest. If a brawl breaks out, I'm probably not going to get my coffee.
okay. So
I'm also going to apologize. Hey, I'm sorry.
well, that's
I just
part of the
woke up a
role.
little while ago and I haven't had my coffee.
Oh,
I'm a bit
okay.
of a nuisance.
So I hate to say this. This makes the most sense. When you put like 5 in social, you're spending that 5 on those dots. So you do not have a persuasion skill. You are literally rolling a d20. I'll give you the d2 for funsies, but you literally don't have a skill in that. Like you're just rolling a d20 at that point. I'm not giving
Okay.
you snag. You just don't have a roll in it.
Okay, so I've got the D20 plus a D2.
I will give you, yeah, basically flipping a coin. Yep. I'll give
Yeah,
you the
I'm gonna
base. I'll
roll
give you a base.
a six-sided die. So 1 through 3 is 1, 4
Sure.
through 6 is 2.
You're apologizing, and if his apology goes poorly, we can have Brad like step in, and we can see how assist works.
I rolled a 15 and
Okay,
I rolled a 2, so a total of 7.
that's still really that's a high roll for somebody who doesn't have a persuasion skill. Um, the person, the giant goes, "Ah, it wasn't worth it anyway," and he just kind of like puts his like he doesn't have a club because he's inside a place. He puts down his large coffee mug and kind of like just sits down. You're right. He doesn't understand. He just puts it down. Okay. By the way, about the time that confrontation's over with, that she stops making that noise. And are you still watching her, or are you gonna like look back to because the noise stopped? You know.
The barista stopped making
No,
noise,
no.
or
The
in
weird the weird angelic creature in the back has
yeah,
stopped making noise.
I'm gonna glance over that way and see
Okay.
if things have changed, or just at least verify it's not a threat. I mean,
Okay. When you look over there, she just has She has nothing on the table. She hasn't even ordered anything. She just sort of stares blankly around the room with her many eyes. She stares in many directions blankly around the room.
Is my coffee ready?
Yes, by now, yes.
I'm
Though,
gonna I'm gonna grab my
okay.
coffee and I'm gonna walk over and ask her if she's okay.
All right, well, it'll take some time to get there. We'll cut to
Yep.
probably Brad, who is still at the counter.
Yeah.
Brad, when you, eventually it's your turn. What do you ask for if you ask for anything?
Hmm. Probably the most like pretentious, obnoxious hipster order I could think of. Like some half calf foam, no foam, cold foam, bunch of contradictory hipster nonsense.
Ah, yes. Okay, so the extracted, unextracted, crushed, then re-uncrushed, and then put through like four different animals. Yes, we'll have it ready for you, sir. Uh, by the way, one of the baristas gives another barista a nod. It looks like they get their equivalent of their head barista chef to go over and work on that.
It's my self-care day.
By the way, you're getting charged like four, unless you make a persuasion, you're probably getting charged like four times the amount for that because it's like the specialty of the house plus extra steps. So it's just like going through a motion back there.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll for it. Why
All right,
not?
you're gonna do some persuasion on the guy because like that is he's gonna charge you. You know it. Like
Yeah. Let's see. Wow, I got a 17 on that shit. And
what?
I have plus a D4.
Yeah, I know what his difficulty is. That probably won't be. Well, go ahead. Roll your d4 and add that.
Okay. Oh, you gotta actually roll it.
I mean, it's a d4. It's a literal die.
Yeah, I'm just looking on my little
Oh,
dice
that's
roller to
fine.
see if I
Take
can.
take take your time. That 17 was pretty high. You're already a paying customer, so it's not like, he's not like you're not confronting him. I mean, you are, but
I got a 1 on that.
Oh, it's fine. So 18. 18
Yeah.
versus his difficulty. So let's see. He's a snooty, not snooty. He's the best of the best. And you're asking him for this specialty order because that's who they gave it to because this was very special. And he's working on it in the background.
And I'm just
Yeah.
gonna kind of
Okay.
scuttle over on the counter a little bit and just kind of say like, you seem like you really know what you're doing. I couldn't think of anyone else who could get this right quite like you.
Oh God, why do I have personalities now? But of course. And he just sways his hair back. You notice that all of them are armed. Yeah, not armed, more like they have tools for their craft. And so he like flows open his cloak, and his hair like also goes in a very dramatic fashion as he does something with like I don't know how to explain it. Glass vials, and he's like tossing them and like spinning the glass vials, and then he claps, and like there's a thunder sound, and then he pours it through three or four other things, and he hands it to you. He goes, "I couldn't possibly charge you the full price for this. You're way too kind." And it just charges you kind of like the regular.
Absolute perfection, my
One
friend.
of the other baristas looks astonished that like the other guy did that. He's like, what do you do? He's like, let it go. And he's like, fine. It's my boss. And he just lets it, walks away. Okay. And lastly, we haven't heard much about Cormac, though he's probably drinking the biggest cup of coffee I've ever seen in my life.
So it's
Uh,
it's actually not it's coffee, but it's it's like very red coffee because it's got a lot of hot pepper in it. Um, uh, and and the cup is almost empty. Like the five
okay.
heads are just
How are you?
going at it
Are you
all at the
drinking?
same
Are
time.
you? Oh, okay. So they're like all diving in, or is it like
Yeah,
one head? Okay.
it's just free for all. It's just free for all.
Like a bunch
And
of dogs in a
somehow
water dish. Got it.
it's going everywhere, but somehow it's just not on his suit. His suit is still just impeccable. And like and he's pretty close to the bottom and he puts it down on the counter. He's like, I'd like my refill now.
Oh God. Okay.
And
That's
the line is just like, oh.
so yeah, everybody groans at the back.
I'm
Uh
imagining Brad like getting a little bit of a splashback from that.
oh yeah, I mean
It hits you and it probably it doesn't do damage, but it burns. Like you're like, oh my god, this is a lot of hot pepper in this. This is
it's like more
dangerous.
hot pepper than
What is
coffee.
wrong with this guy?
I start looking like a boiled lobster on like little spots on my shell.
Oh
Mhm.
no.
Um,
Um
but he puts it down and he's standing there like waiting for his refill, and he looks down at Brad. He's like, "Oh, I apologize." He grabs some way too many paper towels and he just starts like dabbing them at
just
you with his free
buffing your
hand,
shell.
just like kind of like pummeling you
Do
with
you
like
know how like
a
big
roll of
scale
paper
wise
towels.
the scale is you're huge basically and he's
Yeah,
like you know
and I apologize there, pal. It doesn't. It's so good in the morning. It just gets everywhere sometimes. Uh,
while that's going on I
hey,
think go ahead.
it's pretty busy in here. Would you like to join me at a table right over here?
You know, sir, I would love to. I was looking for good company.
Hey, hey, you there, man. I look. I apologize. My
Desmond's
first
already kind
cup
of
of.
left. He's like not
Oh,
in
you're
the seat.
gone. Oh, you're
Well,
gone.
he's
Oh, I
like
apologize.
he's in the building, but you
Oh
saw
yeah, yeah.
him mid
He went to the back.
conversation,
That's right.
mid coffee orgy. He ran off. Like
That's
he
okay.
got
Yeah, yeah. Um,
coffee
and
orgy.
he looks at the barista like, just deliver it to the like. He's like, kind of like, I'm gonna go sit down. Just bring me my refill in a second.
Okay, they'll
He goes and sits
you
down,
go and get a large table because there are smaller and larger tables for like humanoids and non-humanoids and things like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
and
Um,
he'll grab because again, Brad is kind of small.
if Brad wants you to pick him up, then yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
No,
totally.
no, no. He grabs a, an extra like an extra small chair, a chair that he feels like would fit Brad, and he puts it on
On the
top of the
on the
chair that's
table. Yeah.
so that he can like be within like eye contact and all that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, I wouldn't manhandle you unless you seem like you needed the help. Um,
You know, I could like
but
wiggle my little pinchies upwards and just be like uppies.
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. My little are you a crustacean now? You what was it you said you were?
I am
Or
a
what? You know what?
crab.
Let's not. Your name. What's your name?
They call me Brad.
Brad. We don't have to go by what we are. We're all things here, right? Just things. My name is Cormac.
A
And
pleasure to meet you.
he hands you five different cards.
Good to meet
Okay.
another fellow who's beyond the limitations of labels.
Yeah, we try.
Just so you know, the tables that are most clear that don't have people on them are the ones closest to the person who was singing super super loudly, unsurprisingly, because that area cleared out for some reason.
The angel,
Can't imagine why.
and
This
the angel is no longer singing.
she stopped singing. It looks like she's like because you're getting closer, and you'll do see Desmond eventually. I'm gonna get to Desmond's scene in a
Mhm.
moment. You do see her like I don't would describe it as panting, but like in a
Mhm.
panicked state, like just her eyes are kind of like roaming around, like she's like is trying to do something else, but like can't.
Um, uh, Cormac will applaud. Bravo, bravo! So good, so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna cut to Desmond at this point, who's wandered up to the table where she's at. I think that's where he was headed.
Yeah.
Okay. You see around her clothes is around her neck is a little golden pendant that says Erica. You assume that's her name. It has been common knowledge at this point that all of the angels are named Erica. Just so you know. Don't. I don't know why that is. That is Nightville lore. All angels are called Erica. So this is an Erica.
Oh. Hi, Erica. I'm Desmond, and couldn't help but notice you from across the cafe. Are you okay?
Uh, she, she doesn't seem to be able to like communicate with you. Like her eyes might one of them might look in your direction, but maybe that's because her eye is in that direction. It's not looking at you. You know.
Oh, okay.
Uh, about a minute or two passes, and it looks like she's about to start up again.
Start up making those noises.
Yeah, yeah, that's like she's gonna go into another round of it.
Oh, gee. Are you are you um, do you do you need to leave? Do you need some fresh air?
No, 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 no. Just starts making noises.
Desmond is like, you could see like his face is sort of like all of his muscles are like lifting up. Like I I hope this isn't so straightforward, but I think you're absolutely exquisite, and I would love. I hope this is okay. I'm not too forward, but I would love to paint you.
She doesn't. Erica, for whatever reason, I will call Erica just Erica, doesn't respond in a meaningful way to what you're talking about with her.
You want to
I,
come with me?
just making noises. Um, let's
Cormac
see.
Cormac is just sitting at the table, and the one of their one free hand is just listing back and forth like a metronome, but
Yeah.
just completely out of time. Like it's not even like one two. It's like click 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 click. Like no musical understanding at all, but clearly is in love with whatever Erica is doing.
You do see people like some people like not ran away but left, but other people are like recording it on like their phone or like, an actual old style recorder. And you assume that people will be making remixes on the internet or something because it's just a weird noise that she's making.
Um, I I have a little bit of language skill.
All right.
Um, I can tell you the languages that I have. I mean, um, I know Morse code, librarian, and obviously English.
Yeah,
Um,
librarian is its own language, correct.
yes. Um, and I also have language tapes. Um, I'm not
Let's see.
100% sure with that
Let me
language tape.
read
And so I didn't know if I could maybe make some kind of a of it. What would it be? Um, smarts roll.
some
Just
sort
try
of.
to see
It's
if I could like
Go ahead.
hmm?
No, go ahead.
See if I could just determine anything about about the noise that they're making, whether what language it might be, what they're trying to get across, anything along those lines.
Okay. So
Maybe I could make like a
you're gonna try languages on it, basically.
yeah, but I didn't know if maybe I could make like a culture. I mean, my culture is based more on the law,
Well,
but maybe I
it's
could make like.
hmm. I mean, these are pretty abstract. Like
Hmm.
you deal with a lot of different types of people. I could say that's
Hmm.
culture. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. You know
You're
what I
gonna
mean? Like they're whatever they're doing might have something to do with a situation that they're in. Maybe I can pick up kind of like how in some places you have like what is the word I'm looking for? Not initiative, but insight. I'm kind of like doing in a sense like
sure.
more of like an insight type role. To try to determine. All right, so that's going to be a, a D20 plus a D4. Mm-mm, mm-mm. All right, come on. my first roll is 15 and a 3, so it's 18 total.
All right, all right. Um, you think about it in the terms of like culture. It doesn't sound like worship or prayer. You know what I mean? Like you're going through
Hmm.
your many heads worth of knowledge, right? All right, this isn't like a religious or prayer thing. It definitely sounds like, uh, man, it sounds like languages you might know, but they're like sounds like you're almost going through like a radio static filter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't sound right.
It's
That's
like
how
it's almost like a bunch of conversations all
oh,
kind of
like
layered on top of each
layered
other.
and not correct, and you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like, just it doesn't
and
sound
mixed
of this world, even for this world. You
like
know?
one of them is almost like bouncing, like they're saying something, but they're bouncing between so many different languages, and then all of the things are bouncing between different languages.
You have do you have technical skills? What I mean is besides like
I
languages,
don't believe
you
I
don't
don't
have
believe I have
like
anything
tech skills, right?
technical. No,
Okay.
I have brawl, deception. Uh, I have a driving skill apparently. Uh,
Yeah, you
in
can drive.
into oh, I have an intuition. I mean, it could have been more of an intuition thing, but no, I have no
Okay.
tech technological
There's
understanding.
something oddly technical about this besides like the languages. They're not any languages you've ever heard, and you've heard a lot, but
Hmm.
it's definitely language, but it's also scrambled like a radio transmission. So
Yeah,
it's just
like
terrible.
in a sense, it's the transmission is out of sequence, and there just needs to be. And I don't think necessarily he understands it, but more from my understanding, like
Yeah.
the it just needs to be brought together and tuned properly, and then you might start to pick up on what is being said.
You get the impression that you definitely need someone with expertise in this to be able to work
Hmm.
on it.
Hmm. Hmm.
You understand that these are bits of language, but they're bits of languages that you haven't studied. It's like being a linguist where you're like, yeah, sure, I can kind of get that sound, but I don't know what it
Let
means.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Does it, and because you've already kind of implied that there is some stress in 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 her persona.
Yes.
Do am I picking up on a little bit more of like the fact that this person is stressed out, seems concerned, like something is wrong? Is that kind of what I'm getting from?
You could get that pretty easily from inclination. It's like they're
Hmm.
being stuck in a loop. They're making their whatever that
Okay.
sound is, and they're forced to recycle it, and
Okay,
so
so
they can't.
in a sense, like when I walked in, they were making this noise, and I'm almost picking up on the fact that they're redoing the exact same thing
About 50,
again.
approximately 15 minutes after they did it. Yeah.
Okay, all right, and maybe I've been here longer than that, so maybe this is like the third time I've heard it. So now I'm starting to go, wait a second, there's something, and
Something's wrong with this lady.
I can see Desmond, kind of um there. Um,
Yeah.
okay, and all right, that's fine. I'll be quiet for a minute and think.
Okay.
Desmond tries to be persuasive. He says, I have some really nice high quality paints, and I have the most perfect canvas to capture your beauty.
Okay, let's see. Let's see.
I've got a studio just nearby.
Okay.
I'm like a professional
So,
painter.
okay, you do have a persuasion skill, right? That's what you just said. Oh, sorry, you don't have a persuasion skill.
No, I don't think so. I think I just rolled really well last time.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna have you. I didn't have you roll it before because you were dealing with someone who wanted to talk to you, who was willing to talk to you. I'm gonna have you roll if you want to try it. You could roll a difficulty, like basically a skill test with Snag because she is like not there. Like you're trying to communicate with someone, you don't have a persuasion skill, and this person is like obviously distressed. Uh,
So I'm rolling two
two
20,
D20s, and you're
and I
gonna
take the worst one.
and the worst one, but I'm still gonna give you the bonus of the D2 because I don't see why not.
Okay. All right. Okay. I rolled a 14.
Oh,
That's
all
the
right.
high,
Yeah,
and the low is a 1. And I also rolled a 1.
that's
So two.
that's
A total of
perfect.
2.
Okay. You were like trying to like calm her down, Maze. Look, I'm saying her. It's ambiguous. You don't
Yeah.
know. It's a massive wings and eyes. Uh, but anyway, it does say Erica. Anyway, you're getting into a conversation, trying to get her out of it, and for a moment it snaps out of the song and like stares at you, which is almost freaky in its own way because the eyes kind of like shift and then look all at you. What? What? Where am I? I was gonna order a coffee. Like she just like looks around.
I was hi, I'm Desmond.
Hi, Desmond.
I was asking you if you're all right.
Uh, how long have I been here?
Well, you've been here for as long as I've been here, if not more. So, uh, the big guy over there with multiple heads, his order took a long time, so I can't really tell you how long I've been here. A long time anyway.
Okay. So it, they like they're like I guess I should try to get the coffee I ordered. They seem to notice that they have no sense of time. It's kind of obvious from the way they talk. I'm not even gonna make you roll on that. They don't know how long they've been at that table, and they don't know anything about the noise that they've been making. They're just like kind of like woke up out of like some sort of dream or something.
So I was trying to tell you, I'm like a professional painter, and I think you're absolutely exquisite, and I would love to paint you sometime.
They paint me sometime. Oh, that's great. All right. And she kind of like floats up from the table, you know, because the wings, and kind
Oh,
of
that's
like
beautiful. Could you do that again at my studio?
do what?
Just be you.
Oh, I'm me all the time.
I
Um,
know. It's incredible. I've never met anybody like you before.
I'm so glad that they let people talk to us now. We used to be outcasts until the city council said it was okay to talk to us again.
I would have talked to you anyway.
Just so other people know, this is going to be during this sequence. Um, apparently, the angel has stopped making noises and now is talking to Desmond for the moment. I don't know if anyone had any other reactions before Desmond finishes this conversation.
They
That's why.
they
Go ahead.
seem like they've kind of recovered from whatever it was
For what,
that was
at
going
least
on.
for the moment, yes.
Okay. Are we close enough to hear the conversation that they're having?
He's so this is simultaneous. So he's gotten up to the point where he's like telling her, "Oh, I think, I'd like, we'll tell you how you buy my studio." And then they're getting up from their table probably to float over and get their order or at least order something. And that's kind of, you've heard up to that point. Your table was close to them because it was the only free tables.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. Cormac will go, don't worry, miss. I will get your order for you. Coffee? I'll get you a coffee.
She's like, yes, I'll have one that, and she's the order she gives is like, the thing has to be like 80% foam. Like it's
Mm-hmm,
like a mint with this other thing and like 80% foam.
mm-hmm,
About the time you turn around to get her order, she starts standing in place again like a statue and starts making that noise again.
mm-hmm. Ah, yes. This I will get that, and I look over to the barista who's probably just bringing
Second your
my
refill.
refill,
Yeah.
and will you get the young lady a and I repeat the order.
Okay.
and put it on my tab.
Okay. Um, okay. So just so you know, it seems like yes, this is a temporary reprieve from it, and they went right back to that condition.
Yeah, yeah. Um, uh, you, man, uh, um, your name, my talking. I'm talking to Desmond.
I am Desmond. Who are you?
Uh, I'm, uh, wait, I forgot. I'm Cormac. Um, but I apologize for earlier. I had not had my coffee either. Uh,
I didn't have my coffee either. I think we would have had a better experience if I got my coffee before yours.
yes, and I can see that you are trying to help the young lady um, to recover. So I appreciate your kindness toward her. Um, Maybe we should see if we could help beyond asking if we could paint her. I get it. You're trying to help. But yes, and he'll get up with his giant coffee and start to lumber over to her to try to um, kind of investigate and listen closer and see if maybe they have any things that are at the table.
Sure. About the time you start going over, are you like are you examining her table? That's where you were headed?
Yes, yeah, 'cause
Okay.
she was here. I assume she was here when I got here. I
Yeah,
don't know
she
if she was
was.
making
Yep.
all the noise when I first got here.
She was not. She started
No.
that relatively recently.
Okay. All right. Um, yeah. So I wouldn't have maybe taken note of her at that point, but now I want us to see if maybe she has some stuff, belongings, um, that I can at least visually inspect.
Okay. As you are going and kind of like looking around her table, you'll notice that without they're not hiding themselves. You see a person in their like late 20s, round face, generally appealing young lady. It says radio intern on like on a badge on them,
Hmm.
like a visual, like a large badge, and they are like with a handy recorder recording bits and pieces of when she starts making noises and like jotting things in a notebook.
Okay. So there, the angel Erica is attractive, wearing something that
No, no, no,
in
no, no,
oh
no.
oh oh
The angel is wearing is just sort of the being that I posted in the Discord.
okay
This lady, there is a lady that has come in recently and is sitting down with a little
oh
handy recorder, and it says Night Vale Radio, basically Night Vale Radio
oh
intern,
somebody else.
and it
Okay.
has like yeah, it has like a walking stick, and they're sitting at one of the tables nearby taking notes when she starts up and makes noises.
Okay, so this person is eavesdropping in on
What's
what's
going
going on
on?
with
Right.
Erica.
She
But Erica doesn't have any belongings of any kind.
It doesn't seem like it. It seems like they went down to the shop to go get a coffee. And they
Okay.
don't have any like there's no weird artifacty looking things, which you might expect in a situation like this, but it doesn't seem like that.
Well, I mean, even if they had just like a bag or, but they're a different kind of being, so they may not need physical things in that regard. Um, so this other person is listening in on what's going on, and I take note of the fact that they're listening in.
Right. You just notice that like when she makes noises, she pulls out the recorder, they'll take notes. They're like doing observational stuff but not getting in the way.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Well, that almost sounds like it would be kind of normal here.
I mean, it is normal enough. The only difference is everyone knows that there is basically one big radio station in town. There's like one radio tower, and that's pretty much where
Uh-huh.
all the news media comes from. And so this is an intern from that radio station.
Okay. Um, and do they have a name badge, or is it
Uh,
just said?
yeah, no. Unfortunately, the intern badges has it pretty visible. It's Kelsey, and Miss Kelsey is over there recording at the moment.
Okay, and did I see her come in?
You did see her come in. They sat at like a table nearby, which was also empty because,
Yeah,
reasons.
yeah, but they came in and went right over to the table and started doing
Right.
that.
Started doing that. Yep.
Uh, oh, hello, Kelsey. How are you?
They'll look up. I pretend I'm not here or something. Makes like a motion, like I'm just doing a job. They'll look.
Uh, what is it that you're doing there?
I'm following up on a lead that I was told to go after.
What was the lead that you were told to go after?
Well, how about you come over here so we're not shouting across the coffee shop?
I don't mind.
Yeah, your head reaches where she is, but that's different.
Yeah, yeah.
Very inconspicuous.
Okay.
Cormac
Or you
is
could
yeah
invite, I
not.
guess you could invite them to your table because you're already there and they'll
No,
go there if you
I'm,
want to do
no,
that.
I probably won't do that. No, I'm just going to continue talking across the room
Oh
to
my,
this person
she's
because it's
she
just.
looks at like annoyed, like looking at you. I'm trying to do a recording here.
I understand, but what is the point of it?
There has been it goes over now they get up and go over to your table because they don't want to like, you know, they go up to your table. She sits down, rubs her temples. There have been reports of these uh, angel singing moments all over the city.
Hmm, that seems a bit par for the course. Is it odd that angels sing,
And it's
or is it
odd,
odd that they sing in this particular way?
and we've never heard them sing this way. We've also noticed that they seem like they're not in control of their own body when they're doing it.
No, no, this does seem a bit off.
Oh, la, 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 la. You hear the noise again behind you.
Yeah.
Uh,
He'll look over at Brad.
I just kind of glance up from my drink, look over at the direction of the angel, over at the intern, back to Cormac again, just like blink my little eyes like one at a time.
Hmm.
Like, I just came for coffee, man. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, I, hmm, well, if this is something that's happening, then it might be uh, uh, of some interest to,
Hmm.
I mean, to some people. I mean, it's nice that you are recording it to share it with the general public.
yeah, we're reporting on the story. Several of our interns were sent out. Uh, a few of them went missing, but I'm good right now.
Do, do you know how long this has been going on for?
Within the last, let's say, hour or so, they were mostly concerned because they look a little sheepish, like you might need to ask them a little bit further. But there's been interruptions in the broadcast due to some issues with this.
So it's only been going on for a little while then. The more feminine looking head person finally off the phone. Been talking this whole time.
Okay.
Um, so it's only
And
been going on for a little while, and people have been going missing already.
Well, the internship program at Nightvale, while it offers some great benefits, also has a high missing and fatality rate. Uh,
That that tracks. That makes sense. Okay.
so
Um.
this isn't a free concert then.
no, this is something. There's something wrong. What we've got the impression is that these angels looks around. All right, we can say that now. These angels uh, are are having some sort of issue, some sort of technical spiritual question mark issue and not all of them, because I think there are some that are unaffected, but a lot of them are like just perched in random places in the city, like statues, making this noise.
Hmm.
Are they normally out in public?
Generally, they live together at old lady Josie's house, or her former household, and they just sort of just mill about there. There is one that likes to ask for $10 that just roams the streets, but other than that, most of the time they just mill about her old house. The daughter has taken over that place. I don't know if she would know more. Um, but as far as these angels go, they're just sort of out there doing this, and we're concerned because we think it might have something to do with the interference we're getting at the radio station as well.
This is very strange. How many angels are there that exist in this fashion?
You mean that exist in the state that she is in?
Well, in the state, but in the town as a whole.
I believe they use the term, looks at her notes, multitudes. That's what the term looks, that's the word, multitudes.
Oh, yes, I get that. Okay. And how many of them are having this interference?
Um, I don't know, like a handful, maybe like, let's say 10, 12 throughout the city. We haven't been able to get a good card count because of, the whole having to track them down through the city and interns
Certainly,
going missing and all
certainly.
that. Uh,
Yes. Ah, ah, ah.
what is the count? Sorry.
I don't even
Um,
know what I'm doing anymore. It's completely
which head
gone off
is
the
it?
rails. It's
Which
gone
head
off
is
the
this at this point?
rails. Each head has like multiple
Multiple
personality
voices.
disorder as
Yeah.
well. It's just bananas. Um. Okay. Um. And hmm, does it seem like they're doing it in time with one another?
Well, that was one of the things we were trying to figure out. We were going to come back and compare notes and then see, like, if they were in sync with each other. We think they are. People have, like, called each other during these moments, right? Like, there's been, we think that it is synchronous with each other. So they're all making that noise around the same time.
That would make sense.
All the more reason.
Sorry, go.
All the more reason to get this angel to my studio, and maybe another.
McCormick just looks at you, all five heads just look at you, just like. I mean, he doesn't say it, but his eyes are just screaming. You are
I'm not trying to pick. I'm not trying to pick
so.
the angel up. So
You're
my character sheet
so
says that
creepy.
he. Yeah, well, I'm sure, but it says that Desmond's dreams are to open a gallery and to print a quarterly magazine titled "It's Your Home. Put weird things in it." He has never seen an angel before, and it is so weird and bizarre. Like he wants to bring the angel to his studio.
I
All he's
get it.
trying to do is to make art.
David gets it. David gets it.
Yeah,
Cormac
yeah.
is appalled by your behavior.
I've never felt more judged by five heads at once. None of them like me.
Okay.
He's trying to. He's trying to like you, but
I know. I'm sorry.
it's okay. Um, it's Seppo playing a character. Hello, everybody. Well, don't know what to think about this.
Um,
I have an out of character question for you,
sure.
Brian.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so I know within the lore that writing utensils are kind of forbidden.
Uh,
Uh,
so I believe certain writing materials are forbidden. Um, Ballpoint, I don't know if ballpoint pens were forbidden completely. I
Hmm.
know that certain ones were. For the brevity of, well, not brevity, the for how your character works, I'm going to say that there must be a temporary prohibition on that. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
there must be like some sort of injunction or something where they're legal now because I would hate to disqualify you weapon wise for your ballpoint pens. I
That
know that there are certain things that were disqualified, but we're gonna let the ballpoint pens go.
okay. So I was gonna say I'm gonna like kind of scuttle my way over to David with one of my pens
Okay.
and just like take one of the cleaner napkins that were used to dab me off and just kind of slide them over like and just sort of whisper, "You don't have to get her to your studio, dude. Here, here, here. Do a sketch.
Oh.
Capture your vision, man. Follow your muse."
Okay.
This canvas isn't big enough to capture my muse.
Ah, good point.
Okay.
Too
Uh,
large things are weird.
After a little while, Kelsey will finally get what they came here for, and will start to get up and be like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go back and report to the radio station. I don't know what this is about. Can I contact you guys later? Because you're witnesses. So maybe that would be good for later. They'll look at you guys.
Um,
Desmond hands her a business card that's made like this like really like beautiful artwork and like this really thick card stock business card. He put a lot of time and thought into it.
it's a personally painted business card.
No. It's like a print. It's the print of a painting. It's not
I'm
the
just
original.
messing with
No.
Yeah,
It is the
gotcha.
it is the like all every business card is different.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, Cormac
They're
will
they're all original.
hand Kelsey 5 business cards.
They're all you though, right? They're all the same name.
They're
They're just five
all
different business cards
they're
with different
they're
letterhead.
they're
Okay.
they're like they each ring to one of the individual heads
Yeah.
for the different kinds of law that they practice.
Okay. Good.
It's
They
completely
accept your
it's
stack of business cards that you've
it's
given
not
them.
it's not necessary at all. They'll all
Uh,
be on one card.
Uh, I want to take my that little like napkin back,
sure.
scribble on it with the pen, and then like slide it
Sure.
over with the bundle business cards. It
Sure.
just says bathtub with a smiley
The
face.
bathtub and the sand wastes. Do you have a mailing address? Like, do you like the sand wastes, a bathtub, room number four, you know, etc. I'm just curious if you have an actual mailing address to because like you just a spot in the sand wastes.
Like I think I might, but I probably would have just written bathtub.
Okay, so you just write the bathtub and the sand. Okay, thank you. I might contact you guys later on. Um, yeah, they'll get up. Thank you guys for a conversation. Though mostly it was asking them questions, and they will head towards the door. Uh, as they leave, there is a oh no, name all seem to, yeah, okay, that's what I thought. It opens the door, and you'll notice like there's like a foof of like sand or dust that kind of comes in from the door as they step out.
A foof
It's like
of
more than
sand or dust.
more
Okay.
like instead of it just being like it's a dust desert town, right? You expect
hmm hmm
there'll be dust, but it was
hmm
like like what do they call it? A like a dust devil, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like a little,
a
it almost
larger
it
than
almost
normal.
it almost kind of lingers longer than it should, in a sense.
Right. It's
Okay.
a
Yeah.
little abnormal. That's all.
Yeah.
And then they close the door behind them.
Um. Yeah. Cormac will take note of that. Look at Desmond one more time and shake a couple of their heads, and then I think we should wait till the singing ends again, and we should inform uh, the angel of the predicament.
Um, okay. They end in their regular interval. Anyone want to try their persuasion to get them online, as it were?
And we know that they're all. I'm sorry. Was it Emily? Was that what it was?
No, they're all Erica. So it's
Erica.
very
We
easy
know they're all
to
named
know
Erica.
what, yeah,
Yeah.
which one. But just so because you've had some dealings with them, because there was a legal procedure not too long ago, uh, they say, this is my own personal thing, that each of the Ericas says Erica slightly differently. One will, I'll make the K a little bit low, you know what I mean? Like, yes, they're
Like
Erica, but they're
like
also
Like
Erica.
Erica and
Erica, yeah.
Erica and
Yep.
Eureka.
Erica,
Rika, yeah.
Erica,
Just,
and
and they know it. Like, they understand when a human just calls them Erica, but, like, it's
yeah.
kind of like being like, oh, yes, of course. Yes, what is it, human? You know?
hmm hmm
Okay. But anyway,
yeah. When she stops, is it Erica or Erica?
Erica.
Erica.
A airy sound there, yeah.
And he still pronounces it wrong.
Sure, that's
Um,
fine. They don't
yeah,
they don't they don't
yeah.
judge you based on their pronunciation.
He's trying but failing.
But you still have to
Um,
make. Well, actually, you'd have to make a roll first to get to that stage. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd have to make an actual persuasion to get them to stop
well,
making
I
that
figured
noise.
well, no, I thought they were done.
No, so
And
you notice that they'll make the noise every 15 minutes, but in between they just stand there silently, looking
oh,
panicked.
well, that's why when they stopped, I I asked that question.
Right, and you'll still get no response. They'll just be standing there looking weird.
Oh, Erica, Erica.
Okay, you gotta make a roll.
Okay,
Just went back to that state again.
okay. And you said I'm doing persuasion, which I
Correct.
do have at least a small amount in. Uh-huh. So this, and I'll do a. So 1, 2, and 3 will be 1. Right. So that is going to be a 14 persuasion.
So you added the two together and got 14.
Yes.
It looked like she was gonna open her mouth to make the noise, like to make like to talk to you, and then starts making the noise again.
So kind of out of sequence.
Well, the best way to put it, let me see if I could find it again. Give me a sec. No, that section. I'm trying to think if it's. Nope. Okay. So they looked like they were going to open their mouth. This is what a fail would sound is basically. She was going to open her mouth to talk to you, and then it just started making the noise again.
Okay, because I thought you said they sang for 15
Well,
minutes
that's what
and
I
then
mean.
went.
Like I assume like you're conversing with them, trying to get them to get a reaction out of them, and about the time that they're about to speak, they just start up the noise again. Like
Oh, okay, I got you. So like I'm trying for like a make.
it took like it even took Desmond some time being like, come back to my studio. You're very
Mhm.
beautiful. We could have this. It was like he worked up to it. You know.
Okay, I got you. I got you. Um, hmm. Well, that was that was not helpful at all. Hmm.
Let me look up story.
Well, I am at a loss for what to do about any of this, and I don't have a radio station to have interference of. Um, I assume cell phones are a thing,
Cell
right?
phones are a thing. Yes.
Mm, Did I notice any interference on my cell phone while this has been going on?
No, there's been no interference on your cell phone.
Okay. So it's only affecting the radio tower.
Well, probably radio signals in general, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm just, but so radios work on a particular frequency, and cell phones work on different frequencies, so they don't interfere with one another. So it's working on a radio frequency, or the radio's set frequency.
Right.
Um, huh.
So you might be able to like, if you could find someone, you could like search your memories for someone who has technical knowledge. Maybe that would help.
Yes, you said that
Or
before. Yeah. I
right,
mean,
or
I feel like I would probably have come across someone in my time who has technical knowledge, and I feel like it's come up a few times now that there's some technical thing going on. So
right.
maybe I could give that person a call and and see what's up with them.
Sure. Just give me 1 second.
Hmm.
Plus key channels in each session. Okay. So there's this whole section on story points, and I'm going to go into it. Um, a story point during game session. So for the fumbled check, I'm going to give you a story point,
Okay.
which you could use to do different things
Hmm.
for within the game setting. Basically, like doing it's basically like a it's not necessarily a re-roll, but it's like you're able to do different things involving the story. So you just take one of those, and
Okay.
I think I don't know. That's yeah, that was an interesting scene. I'll give one to Desmond for the weird small versus tall thing that happened. That was interesting enough. So that's one as well. I don't know if you've done enough for that. I just want to keep track of these. So let's see. And then I have my own. Keep track of stories. It starts at one story point per player. Okay. So that's a thing. Um, all right. So you're looking for someone with technical knowledge. Sure. Let me see who we got. Ring ding. Luckily, you're a person with a lot of connections, so that will help. Now let's see. Oh yeah, you could also go to the library to look stuff up, but I wouldn't advise that.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
think this is a brand new thing that's happened.
yeah.
I mean, maybe there's evidence of it happening in the past, but that would take forever to try to find something like that. So yeah, I think going right to a technical, again, there's a technical interference. I could call this contact that I've helped out on legal, with legal things in the past, and say, hey, hey, have you noticed anything going on with, you know, with any of your technology? Can you check out the radio? This is what's happening right now, and try to glean some information from them in that regard.
Okay. So the only person you could think of is this lady called I'm trying to say her name correctly. Alor. Okay. I'm going to spell this out and say how you would say it. Alondra, and I'll put it in chat because for
Please,
some
yeah,
reason.
you can't do that to me,
Yeah,
man.
no, no,
I
I
can't.
know. I'm not going to be that cruel.
I have a hard enough time reading, much less
Okay. I
spelling
know
things
I'm
out.
going to
Oh,
say it wrong.
you put it in the
Alalon.
chat.
Yeah.
Alondra?
The Zoom.
Alalandra? Yeah, that sounds right, right?
You put it in
Okay.
the
Yeah.
Zoom.
Okay. I just sometimes when I look at a word, I'm like, oh, okay, so yeah, so there's Alalandra Ortiz, who works at Dark Owl Records.
Yeah.
She's got some knowledge of music and radio equipment and things like that. She's also the lady who inherited old Josie's house, so she was her daughter.
Real quick. Brad. Leo. Is it? Sorry, Brad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just saw your post about your wrist hurting.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for catching that. Yeah, I didn't want
Yeah,
to
man.
interrupt because like
Yeah,
everyone
man.
was on a roll.
If you gotta go, if you got something going on, man, then I mean, you gotta go. But take care of yourself.
Uh, Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, been great having you here.
Oh,
I hope
thank
we
you
get to
so
play
much.
again
Yeah, me
more.
too. I'd love to jump in next time. Sorry for being a little bit like super quiet, by the way. I'm just like chronic pain is a butt. I've got like mad carpal tunnel stuff going on and it's getting bad.
Yeah, hey,
Anyway,
take care of yourself.
thank you.
You're fun to play with, and don't worry about being quiet. I talk a lot.
I mean, you have a lot of good stuff to add. You're like doing great. It's been a lot of fun like listening.
Thanks, I
Even if
appreciate
I've
that.
been super quiet, it's been really enjoyable.
One of the reasons why I game with these people is because they actually enjoy listening to me. I guess.
The way we think we do.
Well, some of them do. Zeppo has heard enough of me over 20 years.
20?
Thank you.
I think it's closer to 25, but
He's probably closer to 25. Yeah. No, it
That's
definitely is.
awesome.
I'm just, yeah, yeah. I don't know how this works. Anyway, yeah, man. If you gotta take care of yourself, take care of yourself.
All right. Thanks. I'll be in the Discord.
Cool.
Hey, catch you guys
feel
later.
better.
Oh,
Yep.
thank you
Yeah.
so much. Appreciate it.
All
Take
right, see
care.
you later.
Yeah. I would call up Alondra. Um,
Yep.
and I forget if you were saying anything else about them.
So yeah, they are so the Angels used to hang out at old Josie's house.
Uh-huh.
But old Josie's house, she died, and so her daughter took over the estate.
Hmm.
And so it's not only is she have technical knowledge, she's also familiar with the Angels, so she's probably
Oh, okay,
a
okay,
safe
okay.
bet.
So this is old Josie's. You said
Da-
daughter or
Daughter.
daughter? Okay, wow, that's yeah. I and again, I would okay, I would know that.
You would
So
know that.
that
They had a
yeah,
legal
that
battle over the house, and so it would have been pretty well known.
okay.
This is
Um,
the person who just the journalist that just left.
No, no, that was
that
Kelsley?
was Kelsey. Yeah.
Yeah, Kelsey was the intern journalist. But yes.
Alondra is my friend contact who
Oh, okay.
also is old Josie's daughter, and old Josie is where all the is the house that all the angels had been crashing at
Basically crashing
until
at, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna call her up and uh, hello, Alondra. This is Cormac. Just I had a question. Want to call up and say hello and see if you might be able to help me out with something.
Okay. So you hear like music, you could call it, in the background. The music sounds like a couple of cans of pennies in a dryer, followed by sounds of like wind being blown through various tunnels. It must be in listening to music in the background so, that she enjoys. Let's see, Andra. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yes. And hello?
Hello. Yeah, I know that you're pretty close with the angels. I think that you still are these days.
Uh,
And
yes.
I don't know if you still have any there living with you.
No, no. There was a legal dispute, and the Angels wanted the house, but I eventually claimed it from them.
Oh, well, that's your right. So unfortunately, so I'm actually, I don't know if you can hear this in the background, and she holds the phone
Oh yeah,
up a little bit, so she,
oh
um,
my.
yeah, there's apparently there is an angel here, and they are kind of stuck in a sound loop that you can hear. It sounds like a whole bunch of stuff all at once. And apparently, so the radio station just had someone here recording it and trying to get some understanding of it. Apparently, it's interfering with the radio signal as well. And they've also semi confirmed that there are multiple angels doing this around the town, maybe a dozen, all at the same time at the same intervals. So I don't know if you've maybe noticed anything with some of your technology, if you're doing any work today in the lab. Uh,
It's funny that you mentioned the singing. I've had a few people bring in samples of it to be
oh,
either remixed or I'm currently compiling some of that stuff together on tracks and trying to figure it out.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
Um, but yes, I've had several people come in and ask for my expertise in the matter. I do understand angelic a bit. Um, this is uh, not quite right. and so I'm trying to figure it out myself.
Oh, okay. So
Has anything like
you're
this ever
early.
happened before?
Not.
Or any like weird behaviors?
I mean, they are of our world and also not. So strange behavior is kind of odd. I mean, how do you define strange behavior, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just there is one of them that likes to roam the street asking constantly for $10. I guess that's strange, you know.
Cormac is looking at Desmond with just the growing concern for the way that they approach the situation. And he goes, uh, this is Desmond. This is someone who is also here. Apparently, they don't know how to introduce themselves. I'm just messing with you. Um, this is wait, I forget the name now. Um,
Well,
Long,
you're on
long,
the phone, so I mean, I might be able to
yeah,
hear
yeah,
some.
yeah. No, no, it's
So,
perfectly fine that you're doing this. Again, I'm as rude. I'm just this. My character's rude. And you jumped in and like didn't go, hi, my name's Desmond, and introduce yourself, and they might be confused because it might
Yeah.
just be another one of my voices.
Yeah, hello. Is this one head I haven't heard before?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, so there's a lot of stuff going on for me. Um,
don't mind me. I'm just full of it. Here's
yeah,
my 5 business cards.
yeah. It's not even the beginning of this character's insanity. So, so what have you determined anything at this point? Do you understand why they might be making this radio interference? Do you know what might be causing them to be connected and communicating this way? What are your
I
theories?
my theories are at this point kind of inconclusive. I'm picking through bits of audio and trying to resync things. I got enough pieces of it from people. It's now just a question of like working on the project. Extra hands would be great if they can get down here and help me with it. Because it is certainly a big project to sort through.
Hey, Cormac,
Yeah, yeah, yes, Desmond.
do you have any contacts at the police station? I'm just
Of
wondering
course,
if like
of course I do.
any other calls have come in with other. I mean, if the radio station is having interference and the Angels are having interference, are they influencing each other? Or I'm wondering if something, if somebody's called in something else that might be a piece of the puzzle that we don't have.
Oh no,
Maybe
that's
there's
a
something else we don't know of that's causing the Angels to glitch and also the radio station to have an interference.
all five heads kind of give you a look of like, all right, this person, this human has got something on the ball. Of course, well, of course, I have contacts at the police station. Didn't you see my business card? I deal with criminal law as well.
And one of
But
them
that's a
does.
Well,
good. That's a
I'm sure you
good.
know people
This
at the
one.
police
This one.
station, but do they
This,
like you? That's the question we're all asking.
it doesn't matter if they like me. They owe me.
Okay. So the only police that exist in Night Vale are the sheriff's secret police. And the sheriff's secret
Oh, oh.
police are interesting. They are like basically chaotic, the best way to explain it. They they dress really oddly, first of all. And what I mean oddly, like leather and stuff. Like they dress really weird.
Like assless chaps.
I mean,
The first
not
thing that went
quite
to my
not
first
quite
place
that bad,
my
but
head
in
went.
that realm of just they dressed weirdly. And the second thing is that man, they they do attempt to keep law and order, but like a lot of the time their way of dealing with law and order is taking people and like shit and like stuffing them in like cells in Radon Canyon is for like a few months of re-education. So like they're not exactly like the easiest to deal with, but you can talk to them.
Okay, so maybe I overstepped that. Um,
I'm just saying that yes, it is a thing that you can do, but the sheriff's secret police are a weird lot, for
well,
sure.
okay, so excuse me.
That's fine.
Do, so both of us would know that there isn't a police department here,
There
but
is,
there's a sheriff's department that people probably know of,
right.
and then there's the sheriff's secret police that maybe only a select few
No,
know
no,
of.
no, no. Everyone knows of the sheriff's secret police.
Okay, okay, so it's not really a secret.
Yes,
They just
that's part of the joke. Yep.
that's yeah, okay, okay. Um, so so maybe is there is so if I'm a lawyer and
Yep.
there's all these types of law that I do, maybe there is a another agency that is not the police, that is not the sheriff, that people would go to with these kinds of problems.
Oh man, there is, and I would. Oh, man, let me see if I could. I think your
Because
Dave.
I don't
Yeah, go ahead.
again I don't want to put words into Zeppo's mouth, into Desmond's mouth, but I feel like again
I guess
they wouldn't have asked the question about the police because we we would know that
Bro,
there
I
isn't a
get
police.
you.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So
I
Desmond
think
would have maybe asked about that other agency is what I'm trying to get at.
Right. All right.
Yeah, if Desmond had, if it was common knowledge, Desmond would have asked, like, do you have a contact with a trustworthy contact within some agency that might be uh
Getting calls.
getting information,
Hmm.
getting calls, or um, this way we can determine, because it's easy to just jump to the conclusion that the angels are causing interference with the radio station, but what if there's something else that's influencing those two? That may also be influencing something else that we could somehow triangulate um, the source based on the new information we don't have.
Well, we also know that the radio station is the primary source for disseminating information out to the general public, and so if
Who would
that
not
is
want
being
that information going out?
that's what I was going to say is if that's what it is, maybe somebody has realized that they can tap into the power of the angels to interfere with that, and so really what we're trying to do is figure out who is it that's actually interfering with them, and so we're trying to figure out what that connection, from the radio station to the angels to who, and so making a phone call, we might get somebody else to say, "Oh, we've been getting these reports in, but this is the other thing that's come in that is concerning to us," and kind of give us that next step.
Okay. Um. So let me think.
Is
So you
there
go ahead.
so there's the radio station, but are there any, say, like, independent journalists in Night Vale that they work independently from the the radio station that might we might contact?
Um. So let's see. I'm trying to think of places that do. Unfortunately, a lot of the news comes from basically one source. There's literally like there is media. Like for example, like I would suppose there would be a newspaper or whatever, but like majority of it comes through the radio station. I'm trying to think of independent like people that exist to that do independent journalism, and no one really pops into mind. I'm sure there are people that do the local paper or whatever, but
Has
like,
anyone ever expressed, like, strong dislike of the radio station, or expressed that it needs to not be dissolved, but there needs to be more um
a
More
variety.
media variety.
No, it might
I'm
have to.
looking for a conspiracy theorist, or somebody who.
Okay, well you can you could conspiracy theory all you like. This is the place where that happens, but like the radio station is generally left alone, and no one's really told it to, oh, we should have different forms of media in town and things like that. Um, Maybe because they do a good job, or maybe it's because station management is literally horrible monsters that live below the building. That kind of shoos people away from wanting to like deal with them if they don't have to, you know? Um,
Are there any politicians trying to like change the narrative or change the information people get?
Politicians, yeah, there's a city council. The city council is basically literally a group of individual. Wouldn't say people. I would say like, ever see that thing where there's like multiple members of like a group, but they're all like one person. They're like kind of like mishmashed on top of each other. That's the city council. They're like a almost multi-headed, multi-armed individual that wears
So it's like the
soft meat
same
crowds.
person with
They're
multiple,
all they're different
multiple heads.
people,
Or
but they're like existing as one entity. But this is kind of off track from where we were initially going to be, which was
I
yeah.
think that Cormac knows about that and finds them absolutely appalling.
Because they're actually fair. They're
Mostly
actual
because they're stealing his thing.
they're actual full individuals in a way, and they do have a habit of when things get tough in town, just kind of abandoning ship and leaving the town, and then coming
Okay.
back when it's resolved.
Okay.
Yeah,
When things take care of themselves, they come back and take credit for it.
yeah, of course.
That's
But
nice.
a little off topic for sure. I would think the thing that the problem is there isn't really this is a place full of like weirdness, but it's more like these events are related. You feel like the events are related to each other. It might be a little simpler than like a third party being involved, you know? I don't know. That's the impression you get. But yeah, anyway, you're on the phone with her. You have a conversation. The question is whether or not you want to go and try to lend assistance to her doing the thing. If you want to find another group of people to come and lend assistance, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you want to handle that.
I think we need to get this angel to my studio first and foremost. Make sure she's comfortable. She has everything she needs. And then you and I go visit your friend and see what's going on over there.
Yes, yes, this sounds like the best plan. Um,
Really?
let's get this one comfortable. I think that and again, I feel like I might be a little bit harsh on you. But yes, let's get this one comfortable, situated in some regard, and then we will go to my friend's place and see if we can help them to determine this nonsense out.
I think
Sure.
when this is all over and done, I think maybe you should come to my studio and I will paint you a portrait, a real regal portrait that will adorn your law firm. I mean, when people come in, they want to see that they're dealing with the best.
The
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Well, we have time, but I'm just
Mm,
planting the seed.
um so is one of you like just picking the statue up of her and like walking out, or like how is this being approached? Because like
Uh,
they are
yeah,
like immobile at this point. Like, you know?
Desmond jumps at the opportunity to sort of, you know, gingerly, you know, she's just floating, right?
Yeah, so she kind of levitates there. So yeah.
So she's levitating. He kind of like wraps his arm around her gingerly and just sort of is and you know to kind of direct and control her to the door. And Cormac, can you get the door, please? Is
Uh,
anybody else watching, like
They're
looking at her?
not they're not really objecting because, well, to be honest, she's
She's
causing a
annoying and
scene,
they want her to shut up.
causing a scene, and you guys seem like you're in the care of a trusted city lawyer. It doesn't. It's probably not anything too
They don't
terrible.
they don't see what I see. I
Okay.
mean, I mean, she's weird, and that's beautiful.
I mean, there's lots of subjects of that here. You know what I mean? Like, she is different in that way, though. Like she being an angelic creature. Okay, so you and your friend go outside, and it is like when you went into the place to begin with, it wasn't as like windy or dusty out here. It has certainly been picking up over the time you've been here.
Does it get that way?
Have been like dust storms and stuff that come into the city. There have been a lot of other weather phenomena that have come in, but this seems unusual. It just seems like, okay, it's been a few hours, but it's certainly picked up out here.
does the weather change when extraordinarily weird things are happening?
Weather has been known to for that has happened. On the other hand, sometimes they have just regular weather. There's like oh,
No,
there's
you're good. You're good.
there's regular weather like there is here. There's sandstorms and stuff that you'd expect, and there's weather, but that's strange. But that's usually caused by an external element, like the glow cloud raining dead animals on them or something. You know, like things like that. Um, this is just seems like abnormal natural weather. Like it's just a little bit more dusty than usual out here.
Sure. That's what I was looking for. Is that this is it's it's normal weather, not like, oh hey, there's a bunch of intergalactic aliens
No,
bombing the other side of town, and it's raining blood.
no,
So
no. It
yeah, yeah,
is
okay, okay.
it is sand. It is a sandstorm or the beginning of what feels like a sandstorm.
Okay. Um, so yeah, so Cormac helps Desmond by opening the door, and Desmond is carrying the angel, um, and right out front is Cormac's uh, very large, very sporty car, um, and he kind of holds his hand out for Desmond to put the angel into the very small back seat of the car.
I assume you guys put her belt on, or else when you took off, she would probably just levitate there as the car
Yeah,
rolls
yeah,
away. Okay,
yeah,
She's
yeah,
secured.
okay. Just has to float
yeah.
away like a balloon. Uh,
Like he wouldn't let you get into the car without putting on a seatbelt. I mean,
okay, that seems
that would be
wrong.
bananas. Um, Mostly because as soon as he gets in the car, the car is immediately going way too fast. His
Are
wings are just flapping in the air, and his heads are like just all bobbing and weaving back and forth, and they're
do you
all talking.
you have a driving skill, right?
Yeah, I don't know how great it is, but it's
Okay. Are you literally driving too fast, or are you just driving fast?
I'm driving fast. I wouldn't say that
Okay.
I'm driving. I mean, it's more
Reckless
like
driving.
I'm going more for like the um. Hold on, let me see what my drive skill was. I don't think it was that great.
I know you had
Oh yeah,
one.
yeah. It's low though. I have a plus D2, so it's not great. But yeah,
Okay.
he's driving too fast for like the fact that this car is made big enough for him, and
Yeah.
he is old and awkward, and like it feels a little herky jerky, like he just bought this car or something. Like it just nothing about it feels particularly safe, but I wouldn't say that. I would hope I wouldn't have to make a roll
No, not unless
for this particular, like he's not like running from anybody or chasing
right. No, no,
anybody.
no. This is, as I
It's
said, you're
still
driving at just a quick rate, not like crazy, you know.
yeah, exactly. Again, I was going more for the just the flavor of his uh,
Right.
awkward driving ability. But yeah, we could deal with that more if it gets worse.
Okay.
But yeah, he will head over to Alondra's house.
Okay. Yeah. Well, she's currently at Dark Owl Records. She would
Oh,
tell you that because she was
okay,
mixing.
okay,
She did mention she was mixing audio and doing stuff like she can't do that at her home. So
okay. She's at quote unquote the lab or one of the labs.
basically,
Um,
yeah, it's the
yeah.
closest thing you're gonna get to a mixing place. Yeah.
hmm Okay. Yeah. So he would head over there, and again help because he wouldn't be carrying the angel. He would just assisting Desmond carrying the angel. It floats, so there's not a whole lot he's got to carry. He's really just
No.
he's
Kind of
pushing a
corral,
balloon.
push him around. Um. Okay. So yeah, you get there. Wait, you dropped the angel off first, and then you went to Dark Owl, or did you just bring them with you?
Oh, I apologize. I missed what that part of the plan. If we
I don't
were
know.
just
You're the one driving. I just
yeah,
figured I'd ask.
what was it that exactly that Desmond was thinking that we should do with the angel?
Uh, I think it was store.
Desmond
Yeah.
said we should get the angel back to his studio where she's safe and comfortable
hmm
because that was the most important thing to do is get her there. And
Yeah,
then we go visit your
not
friend.
creepy at all.
It doesn't sound creepy at all, right?
He just wants to make weird art with her.
Mm, yep, this isn't getting worse.
And then to visit the person that we were speaking to on the phone because she was at the
Yeah,
house where the
yeah.
angel like to occupy.
Well, no. So we just found out that she's not. She's at a different place, but
Oh,
she's working on. Oh, excuse me. She's working
okay.
on the audio currently of the angels. So yeah, I would say we drop the angel off, and then we'll head over to the studio and talk to Alondra, to try to figure that whole situation out.
Okay, so you drop the angel off with at the artist's house on the way, basically, or do you?
Considering the artist is not staying there, I feel comfortable enough doing that.
Okay, you put her floating form somewhere in a safe corner of the room, and kind of leave. You
I
know,
think I think I think above the coffee table.
somewhere above the coffee table. You know. All right, I want you to know. Wait a minute, you're a student, right? Do you live in a house? You probably don't own a house. You live in like a building, right?
He does have like it's like a warehouse. He rents
Okay.
a house space. That's his art studio.
Okay, so just so you know, the whole ride up, not the whole ride up, but like within bursts of 15 minutes or so, she makes the noise, and even in your studio, does the noise.
Yeah, it seems right.
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
just
really
making.
have any neighbors, and anybody who might be in their studio,
Yeah.
they probably wouldn't. I'll just turn the radio on.
Okay. Terrible singing with that radio. Okay.
Yeah, and so you've got the radio on. When she's quiet, they hear the radio, and then when she's when she's making the noise, the radio is making probably like a competing racket as well. But
Yeah,
it's
I'll
probably an
probably
art.
think I've improved my singing. Oh, he's getting better.
It's probably an art studio, so they're probably completely into it.
Sure. Um, that's fine. And then you go over to Dark Owl Records where she's been working on the song, or at least bits of it, and so you can kind of meet up there.
Yeah.
Okay, you pull in. Dark Owl Records is like it's a like a trendy music store. It's the kind of place that like they sell CDs, but only CDs of bands that you've never heard of, or bands if you've heard that you've never heard of, they wouldn't sell you a CD because they don't think you're into it, you know, like that, stuff
Like,
like that.
what are you doing here looking for
Music,
Pearl Jam? Like,
yeah, Pearl Jam. We're
are they a
all
thing still?
we're all about industrial wind noises here.
Hmm.
That's the kind of place this is. I'll post it in the Discord just so you get an idea of what this building looks like from art.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, it is like a small quarter shop, um, where as I said, there are CDs and records and things like that, but they're things like the wind chimes with electric guitar. You know, like it's sound combinations that are just would sound absolutely terrible together, but apparently are top sellers.
Hmm.
And by top sellers, I mean 5 people bought it. You know,
Hmm.
um, in the she knew you were coming, so when you come in, they'll be working on the back on like an old PC, kind of like piecing together audio clips.
Uh, hello, Landra. Hello.
Oh,
We're
come in.
here.
Mind the heads. It's a small shop. You know, just duck
Oh,
in.
it's so good to see you. Oh, hello.
Hi, and she'll try to address each one slightly differently, since that she considers them, different in their own way. Uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
you notice that she has a habit when she's like trying to figure things out, or like she gets tense, she'll laugh. She has a nervous laugh.
Hmm.
In fact, as a GM, I do too.
Yeah, yeah.
But
We've all noticed. It's fine.
okay.
It's fine, Brian. And this is Desmond. He's the person that you heard on the phone earlier.
Oh, it's good to have a name to go with the voice. That's a snide comment. You could feel the way she pointed that.
What does she look like? Is she like normal looking or
She's like in her mid 60s, tan skin, like, like just sort of
human?
regular looking person, older
Human?
lady.
Okay. Not somebody I would swoon over and want to paint though.
No, but for like she looks good for her age, like not like anything exceptional, she definitely
Not
looks like
exactly.
though she definitely looks like this is more audio stuff than she could handle. You know what I mean? She's like kind of like flicking at keys and just moving stuff around to try to figure it out. Um, oh, she'll look at
So,
you guys.
mhm.
You guys, can you help me with this? I know you know languages, and maybe I don't know. You could just be here to help.
He'll
Um,
surprise you.
okay. So let's see. There are different ways you can help with the test with the audio thing. So good news, you can use your culture roll because I know you have one. So
Uh-huh.
that's just a roll for culture. Nobody has. Does anyone else have science or technology?
Mm-mm.
I'm just double checking.
I'm gonna check right now.
Okay. And then the last, of course, is like musical ability. Like, does anyone have play an instrument as a character?
Uh, no.
Okay. Then, if you don't have some sort of skill that applies, it's just going to be a regular roll. No snag, just a regular roll.
So I'm rolling culture.
Okay. Culture applies.
I
Hmm.
have culture.
Oh, you do? As a skill?
Yeah, it's culture, art, plus
Okay.
D4.
Okay. So culture and art, yeah, you could theoretically roll on that. That's fine. So it's just going to be a D20 plus your culture.
16.
Okay. That's
19.
2. Okay, that's definitely some good results.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Between you and her like moving tracks around and him being like musically that doesn't jive, and then you're going like, oh, angelic culture does this. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of like rearranging the tracks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so as you as you guys want to work on it, some time passes, and then she'll like they'll do more editing. And I think I got it. And she'll like press the button down, and it'll play it back, and it'll be like, I think I think it's a weather announcement, and it plays and it goes, the sandstorm will bring with it an eclipse, and in the moment of the eclipse, something important in Night Vale will change. That's the message that you get.
So there's going to be a windstorm.
It sounds like a sandstorm and bring with it an eclipse.
Does this
An
sound
eclipse.
like a report from the news station?
It sounds like a report from somewhere. It doesn't sound like it's from. It doesn't sound like Cecil, who's well known for doing the weather, but like this does not sound like a typical weather report from the people you would get it from.
We could kind of kick around the news station try to see if somebody like I don't know, illegally attempted to put that out.
She like Alondra will get up from the table for a second and be like, I think I think the angels are picking on up on something from somewhere else. Like,
So there's a windstorm that's gonna happen, which has already started, and then there's gonna be an eclipse that's gonna happen presumably tonight, maybe tomorrow night. And when that eclipse happens, something is going to happen in Night Vale that is going to be noteworthy.
noteworthy. Yes, I think that's
Can
correct.
can um can Cormac do some kind of a search to see when the next eclipse is supposed to happen?
Sure. Let's see. I don't think you have astrology or something that would apply for that, unless you think you do. I can look at your
Well,
sheet.
I mean, again, you know, if cell phones are a thing, I don't know
Yeah. Okay.
if the internet is a thing, just doing a quick Google search of when the next eclipse is supposed to happen. I wouldn't know it off the top of my head, obviously.
Let's see.
Because again, like if the next eclipse is supposed to happen tomorrow, then we already know that. If the next eclipse is supposed to happen a month from now, and there's going to be an eclipse that's out of sync, then that speaks to some other power. You know what I mean?
Okay. Um, you. I'm not gonna make you roll for that. You pick up your phone. You look up information like any normal person would, and you know that there is going to be an eclipse tonight.
Okay, all right. So the eclipse is supposed to happen anyway. It's really just telling us that something is going to change in town. Um,
Um, so
which is
again,
fine. I mean, again, it's that's what angels do. You know, classically, that's what angels do. Is they inform you of 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 events. I mean, the word angel, biblically speaking, comes from the concept of messenger, and so it's someone is giving us a message about the fact that it doesn't have to do necessarily with the eclipse, but the eclipse is at the time of the eclipse, something is going to change, and so therefore people should take note of that.
but it's odd that they're not just like telling us in a normal fashion. It's almost
Mm-hmm.
like they're being influenced from somewhere else, and this is the result, right? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah, yeah,
they're getting a feedback loop that's causing their alert to go off,
yeah.
right?
It's not coming through properly, and that's actually almost more concerning because things probably change in this town all the time. Weirdness is weirdness. That's not the issue. It's that these individuals are being affected adversely, and that's almost more concerning, in a sense.
I question whether or not this is a message that they're receiving or a situation that is occurring and their internal workings have basically told them to go, get to give an alert, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's
Hmm.
that's what I and she just like kind of taps away at her computer a bit. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
but
And
it's
I don't mean,
definitely a radio signal, which is
yeah,
very
and
odd.
I'm not saying this to make light, but this is almost like an Amber Alert coming through on your phone, but like it's it's coming through wrong. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
I wonder what the connection is between the sandstorm and their noises, and you know what I mean? And just like they're just taking taps at it. I can't for the life of me figure it out, but something's wrong here.
mhm.
Who else would have access to radio technology?
I mean, we could go to the station. I know that the main radio tower has it. There are people with like ham, like regular ham radio, but I think if you're talking about sheer broadcasting power, there's really only the one radio station.
Hmm.
I wonder if there's
I
like
mean,
a
they seem to be trying to figure this out themselves, but maybe in this time they've deduced something. Yes, why don't we head there with this um, audio unscrambling, and maybe between this and what they have, we can figure more.
Okay. So, all right. So the next part, you go down to the radio station.
Hmm.
Um, you basically, I'm just gonna skip the whole driving there thing, and you get to basically just a large radio tower with a front office, and there's like some other other offices, I'm sure, down the hall and things. But you get basically to the reception desk.
Hmm.
And what are you saying to them?
Um, uh, Hello. Hi, my name is Cormac. This is Desmond. Did my friend come along too, or just two of us?
Yeah, I mean, they're concerned enough. They'll come along.
And this is Alondra. We ran into one of your interns, Kelsey, um, who has been who is trying to one of your interns that's trying to determine this thing that's going on with the angels, and we feel like we might have come up with a little bit of information. We want to know if we can brainstorm with your engineers to try to see what they might know, and if we can put a put some of this um, understanding together.
Okay. And they're willing to listen to you. You have persuade, right?
I
Or
do.
oh, do roll
I
that
don't
persuade,
believe I
please.
have a ton, but I have a
Hey,
plus D
having a roll.
two.
That's something.
It's something. See if it's enough. Right. Right. So that's not going to be enough. That's a six.
Okay. Let me think about
Un-
this.
unless I could ask Desmond for some assistance,
You
although
have
Desmond doesn't have any.
you do have that story point. Let's see how
Oh yeah,
that's gonna
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. Let's use that because I
Okay.
feel like this is pretty important that
Yeah, it's
they
kind of
listen to me.
important that you get this
And I
down
forgot about
properly.
that. Yes, this is definitely a time to use.
I believe you can do rolls. I have the notes here for story points. I just have to look at it
Hmm.
again. Fumbles a skill call, conflict, or dangerous threat. Player as a genius. Okay. Beginning of each major scene, gain detailed story points to pool. It doesn't say specifically. I'm going to let you use that story point to like re-roll that. That's what I'm going to let you do with it.
Oh boy, I can't
Try
get
to try to get it
too
this.
much worse.
Trying to move the plot forward. So
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh, that is 11 plus 2 is 13. Better.
okay.
Um,
13. That's fine. Is what you basically need like over a 12, I'll say, because it
cool,
doesn't
cool.
matter at this point.
Well, because
Uh,
again, I mean, I feel like this has got to be something that this person is aware of.
yeah, yeah.
They know that
That's
there's a
why I didn't give you any
concern. Yeah,
snag or anything like because it's like
yeah,
you're
yeah,
going into the office being like I have information, but like in a way they still have to kind of believe that you do. You know what I mean? A lot of weird
yeah.
stuff probably happens in this place.
I'm
So it's
still
like
I'm still a well dressed 5-headed dragon. That's
right.
got to be worth something.
Right, yeah, exactly. So, okay. Yeah, they're gonna let you and your party upstairs to talk
hmm
with their group of people working on it.
hmm Yeah. So we'll head upstairs.
Okay. So, you go through the offices. There's it's basically what you'd expect. Long white, corridors. A you as you proceed down the hallway towards where you think a bunch of the staff members are meeting, you do see like a station management sign and like some glowing red light from underneath the door. I assume you guys just keep walking. Like, I don't think you guys stop and see it, but it would be on your way. Um,
Is that
It says
usual for Nightville?
that's what's up.
The red light coming under the door, is that
That's
like
from the office that says station
right?
management on it.
I'm just saying, like, is that unusual? Like, if I were to walk through an office building and I saw a red light coming under a door, I might be like, "What's that about?"
Oh, yeah, no, it's like you're passing by normal office kind of doors, and then you go by the station management door, which is bigger than a regular door and has that light going from under it.
I
and
kind of like lean over or like,
Probably shouldn't, says one of the staff. Just if he sees you doing that, he would probably shouldn't.
"What's that?"
If he sees like the people you're escorting are escorting you, if he sees you kind of like leaning and looking at it, he probably will say like you probably shouldn't. But
I do.
you go
I
ahead.
would too. I would too. Yeah. I mean, I have 5 heads. I probably
Yeah,
take up the hallway. I probably
yeah.
almost can't not.
Oh yeah, true. All right. What are you doing? You listening? You looking? What do you?
Yeah. Yeah. Just I mean,
Uh,
it. You know, I don't want to step on Zepho's toes. So if you want to listen first,
Yeah,
that's
that's
go for
fine.
No,
it. But
well, no, that's fine if you. I just wanted to like clarify, like that I was giving you some kind of nonverbal signal to be like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
yeah.
You could
Oh
listen
yeah.
and roll. You can you could barge through that door if you want.
Yeah. And I think I'll barge through the door. But yeah, I will definitely give a listen to whatever weirdness. Um, is there a way to see inside, or is it like
No, just it's big
the
black.
blinds are closed? The
Yeah,
blinds are closed. The door is closed, and you can just
just
see
the
the light.
light.
Okay.
Just the
Yeah.
light
So
under it.
I'll make some kind of a roll for that.
Sure. Let's see. Do you have like a physical like listening kind of check, or do you just gonna roll it straight?
I mean, I have intuition. About the best I
Hmm.
feel like I could go with, but
Yeah, all
yeah, I
right.
could.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with it. Intuition.
Cool. Ooh, that's a nat 20 plus 2, so 22.
Okay. So first of all, this is a place where weird things happen. Just
Mm-hmm.
you're used to that. You are, compared to humans, you're a five-headed dragon. Okay, like this place is unusual, but not. When you put one of your heads, like maybe possibly two heads, up to that door, what you heard were like not words, but like Lovecraftian monster noises, like guttural, gurgly
Mm-hmm.
noises of just like conversation because it's like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
horror monster noises and but you kind of got an impression of like station management being concerned about the interference and how this is going to affect the station and like general office chatter, but like there's just all this gurgly awful Boolean noises in there.
I feel like you had mentioned it before, and I feel like I would probably know that the 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 entities that run this station are weird Cthulhu type monsters.
Yeah, I
So
just
it's probably not too far out of the realm of normality or weird normality that yeah that's probably what's supposed like I was almost expecting to listen and hear maybe like chanting or some kind of like torture or something, but if it's just like a normal conversation going on, then that's
well,
in a different language, that's not
as
that big of a deal.
no, again, it's not disconcerting because again, you live in a really weird place. But like one of the pieces you pick up on as you kind of go by is something like, do you think it's someone from the outside or someone, and they're like, no, it probably not. Like, you know what I mean? Like conversation of
Hmm.
like, what is causing this problem? It's like, is this an outside influence? Maybe.
and and so the person on the phone that I can understand is saying no, it's might be an inside thing.
You get the idea that the station management is having a conversation about where the source of this is coming from.
Hmm. Okay.
That's a 20, yeah. So they're leading on the fact there's some other force at play here.
Hmm. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Okay. And but they think that it is. They do think that it is. Again, from that little snippet that you just said, they
Right.
do think that it is an outside force, or they don't think.
They think it is.
Okay. Yeah. So they think it's outside. All right. Again, that that goes along with what we were already thinking. So it's not that
Right.
So yeah, we'll just Cormac will look at at Desmond and just kind of like shake his head yes, but kind of like nod along like let's continue on.
Okay. So you continue on. You see a few interns, the one that you even were talking to, working on the project, comparing notes, playing audio snippets back and forth. They said, so the person who's leading this little leading the room, is going to talk with you guys. Let's see. I have her name actually. Give me a moment. Library. At the beginning. Okay. Uh, right. Okay, so the person who's leading the room is a lady named Francesca, and she's busy, like, basically doing the what would you call the board where you're taking like the pictures and you're like, okay, the audio
A
recording,
murder board.
doing a murder board of the information available. Okay, so they are singing in synchronous. Yes, that makes sense. The audio, and they're like basically doing that kind of stuff. And then you have new information?
Uh, uh, yes, my friend here, Alondra, was given multiple pieces of the recording, and we were able to determine this. And I will hand it over so that they can have a listen to it and hear the thing about the dust storm and the eclipse and something happening.
Okay.
And I don't know if uh, the transmission is so important. I think that whoever it is or whatever it is that is making the transmission and how it is affecting these entities is almost more important to me. But the event might be, at least as the recording says, noteworthy.
Okay. So what we've been doing on our end, and I appreciate you telling us about the message, is that we've been comparing the signal to the radio station signal And because they run on a very similar frequency, it has been basically been interrupting our radio uh, broadcast about every 15 minutes for the last, I'd say, 2 or 3 hours. I think it might be a little bit longer than that, but generally about like 2 3 hours since. Um, so we're thinking that if we work together, we could probably do a counter to it, maybe like a counter broadcast, and then maybe that would help disrupt their disruption. You know what I'm saying?
And break the
Break the cycle.
break the
Right.
cycle and free the angels from the interference at the very least.
Right. The only thing that comes to be a problem is we have to gathering up. We'd have to gather up the angels to do that. I assume that would be the best play.
You have the location.
Yes. We sent our
All of
interns
them?
out to record them. So yes, we can gather them up probably relatively easily. They tend to go into a weird catatonic state, so we should be able to to wrestle them back here.
Hmm. Excellent. Sounds like you have this under control.
Well, we
Mm,
didn't know about that this was related to a catastrophe as such. We just knew that it was something that would be connected to the radio broadcast.
of course, I mean you're looking out for yourself as first and foremost. I can understand that. It's good that you are at least trying to help the angels as much as you can. We have ones that we can go and collect, and if you give us um, locations, we could
Sure.
help collect more. I don't want to speak for you, Desmond, but you seem intrigued in helping them.
Desmond takes his eyes off the murder board and gives him a weird side glance, like at the mention of removing the angel from his studio.
Not weird at all. Not weird at all.
Yeah, so let's see, 10,
That,
30.
that angel's mine, and I'm not giving it back.
They are individual beings, you know that, right? Just
I'm not giving it back until I'm done with it.
It's it's purely research purposes.
Hmm. For art.
let's see.
Science and blending the two together.
Hmm.
Okay. They say actually, on the whole, we might just want to gather angels that aren't in the catatonic state because there are ones that aren't, and
Oh
that would
yes, of course.
probably
We don't want to bother any that are not affected. Of course, of course.
right.
Oh, I thought they all were affected.
No, only a few have been
It's like
infected to the state.
about a dozen is what we determined.
Is there anything on the whiteboard that is new information, new to me anyway?
Just look.
He's staring at it, like, using his art mind to try to like create an exact replica in his brain so he can visualize.
Just one of those things where like mostly it's locations. You didn't like scour the town looking for them, right? So there's just like locations of where these other 8 or 9 of them had been spotted at least.
Cormac sees Desmond and can kind of pick up on his squishy little human brain trying to figure something out, staring at the murder board, and Cormac just holds up their camera and takes a picture, and then points the screen at you and goes, "I've got it for you, buddy."
Well, I'm wondering, because previous to now, we didn't know the exact locations of these distressed angels. I'm wondering if can we like superimpose their locations over a map of Night Vale and try to like coordinate like does it create like if you were to draw lines from like one to the next, would it create like a would it create
A
something,
pattern or a circle or something.
or could we determine like, hey, in these are the sites, but this is the center, so it would be easy for somebody to transmit signals from like the center location.
Transit signals for center location. Well, the only real transmitter that you could use that's capable of putting out that signal is probably the one that's currently in the building that you're in. You know? And as far as building a map to where they are, it doesn't seem like there's a particular pattern, like putting a line through this section. Like they do have similar things here in the office where they're been trying to like kind of pick the locations and be like, doesn't seem to be like a specific set pattern. It just seems like certain ones are tuned to the wrong frequency or right frequency and are having issues.
When we walked past that office with the red light,
Yeah.
did Desmond did Desmond hear anything going on, or is that strictly Cormac that heard?
I mean, you heard things going on, but I don't know. You don't really have like a vast thing of languages, right? I mean, they were just sort of talking amongst themselves, you know?
Yeah, I just wondered like what's up with the red light.
They all look at each other like in hushed tones, and like that's how it normally is.
Yeah. And now that he knows like that's what his escort said. Their escort said, right?
Something like just don't, yes, don't even work, don't go there, don't bother with it, or something like that.
Why?
Because station management, they can be grumpy sometimes.
Who exactly is station management?
Station management, they run the station.
But who? Who are they?
They all turn in almost synchronous and go, they're station management, they run the station, we don't ask questions.
He gives a shot to Cormac.
Yes, it's station management. We don't bother with station management. Come on.
What if station management's behind all of this and we have to bother with them?
Well, let's follow the breadcrumbs where they go, and we won't bother station management. And he gives you a couple of all of the heads give you a very like obvious wink.
Okay.
So we'll just follow the breadcrumbs then.
All right.
There you go, man.
You Okay, so you go out and so here's the fun part. You go out and again the sand and the other stuff start to pick up even more because it's later in the day. But you do see like other angels out on the street, like regular angels, but they're not doing the sing-songy thing. They're just sort of roaming about. The question is, do you want to try to gather some up?
Does it seem
Yeah.
like they're acting normal, or does it seem like they're acting abnormal?
It seems like they're I wouldn't say nervous, but they're just kind of like, wandering around looking to see, well, something's up, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, I'm gonna approach one.
All right.
Um, Hail, Angel, Erika.
Yes. How can I help you?
My friend and I are concerned for some of your kind. They seem to be acting a bit off.
Uh,
Do you know of it?
yeah. Do you have $10?
No. I only carry credit cards.
Oh. Okay. And she'll look. One of her eyes will like sink, like disappointed. She'll look up back at you. All right. But what can I do for you?
Well, it's really what we can do for you. We're trying to help your kin who are being affected by some unforeseen entity or transmission. And we want to know if the rest of you might be getting some weird interference or what you might know of the situation. Seems to be quite a few of you wandering about right now.
Oh, yeah, we sense that something bad is coming. A few of us have went into some type of shock. Um, if there's something we could do to help, you should probably roll. I mean, it's not going to be really difficult, right? But you should probably roll like persuasion or something.
Sure.
I assume you're going to what, try to gather them up or something as you progress.
Well, we were going to. I thought they wanted us to gather up the ones that were being interfered with,
No, they
and
told you that they didn't want those ones.
they
I
didn't
mean,
want those. They just want regular ones.
if
Okay.
you could deal with their interference, that's great. That's probably helpful, but like, that's not necessary for what they need
Uh, so they need regular ones to help
to generate
break
the
to break
right.
the interference. Okay.
They want
Um,
unbroken ones.
Now this one asked me for $10. Is it you? And I think you had said something about other ones asking for ten
Well,
dollars.
there was
Or
one that specifically asked for $10. The other ones you don't know.
okay. Um. Yeah. If you could help us. In the radio station, if we could get a few of your unaffected kin to come, we would be able to um, uh, help the situation.
Okay.
Um, and I'm sure that someone there has $10 for you.
Okay. Yeah, just roll like a regular persuasion.
Since I'm um, uh, offering or pretending to offer her
Yeah, you know
the
what?
money that
Roll
she
with it.
wants.
You could roll with edge. So roll two
Nice.
d20 because you're offering them something they want.
Yeah.
I tried to speak earlier, but my mute was
Oh, I
on.
apologize.
No, I
Oh.
No,
didn't
no,
notice.
that's not your problem.
Mhm.
I was just saying that in the beginning when she asked for $10 and you said you only have a credit card, I said that I pulled out my wallet and started to take out a 10.
Oh, okay.
So that's all I just wanted to say, just because I think you said somebody might have a $10 bill, and I was like, well, I just wanted to throw that out there.
hmm
Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're please. I rolled a 12.
Okay, that's fine. And you rolled that with edge, where you rolled the two.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Kind of glad I gave that to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. It
All
was a
right. So
well. No.
yeah.
So the first one was a 10. The second one was a 6.
Okay.
Then I added 2 to it.
Okay.
So.
That's fine. You could convince this one to, especially if Desmond's going to be waiting around $10, that
hmm
you know they'll go out, and I think because we're getting close to the time limit, you basically roam around the streets looking for other angels with the car. You know, you could like pick them up, and so eventually you manage to gather up a sizable choir of them, and you go inside the radio station. Um, Luckily, they knew you were coming because this is kind of quite the sight. Leading in like 12 or 13, because you had a time limit, you know what I mean? So you're like,
hmm
whichever ones we can get, right?
hmm
And you proceed up into the basically the what's be like the radio booth, and the
I feel like we would have collected 3 groups of 6.
yeah, like a balanced choir, right? Like that's fine. I just want you to know though, like the storm is like starting to really pick up outside, right? And you're like,
Uh huh. Uh
all
huh.
right, we gotta go. Let's corral them in, and you bring them all into the radio station, and you play the audio, and then you're like, okay, I need you to kind of do. I mean, like because you have a lot of bonuses because also other people are in here, you know what I mean? And they're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we need you to do the opposite of what that is, and then broadcast it out. And let's see. Um, anyone here? You have management skills, right? Like some sort of like you've done you do law and
Yeah.
like okay. Um, they understand the assignment. However, you're literally managing a choir. So, uh, you do you want to roll or do you want Desmond to roll on kind of like getting them organized in the room?
Desmond, do you feel like you can do it? You want to try it? I don't want to take up everything.
This- ah, hold on. Let me move to my computer. What am I rolling? Like management?
Yeah, you're basically trying to get them in the right spots so they could do their thing.
I mean, I don't have management, but I'm happy to roll.
Sure, roll me that d20.
9.
Okay. Let's see. That's definitely not probably gonna. Okay, they're shuffling them around. The sand starts like buckling against the building. Okay, okay. At a certain point, like their executive producer person, like kind of pushes through the door, like, "We come on, guys, let's get this going. Get them lined up." And they line them up, and at about the time you think like like you can look outside the window because you're at the top like higher up in the building and you could see like the eclipse like coming right
Mhm.
and then they start to pick up their song and you guys feel of like a wobble like equivalent of like the radio signal goes out but you also feel like almost like a reality wobble
Mhm.
and like this like and the eclipse still happens but the sand kind of subsides and slides away from away from the town. Okay, look, the producer looks at Desmond and is just like, that was a little too close.
Too
um
bad. I actually made a performance role. We have a drama, a performance drama.
oh, do you?
Right after him, like I just saw it. Like after he said he rolled a 9,
Yeah.
and so I rolled it, hoping that I could maybe like sneak my roll in, and I rolled a nat 20 plus 3.
Oh, did you? I mean, you we
It's
could say
okay though.
that like
It's
yeah.
fine. It's fine.
I just picture that like the executive you know like for example, like it says right here, like the Angels are professional media personnel. They don't know what they're doing here, really. I mean, they're just here to like, you want us to sing? Okay, get into position, you know.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
but at a certain point, the producer or the radio show would probably bust in and be like, "No, we need to get this done." Like just sort of
Hmm.
like set them up.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that was again, I abbreviated some stuff due to time and other reasons, but I hope you guys had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's
I look forward
it.
to playing again. Hopefully, it's not too far in the future. I
Yeah,
would.
it's
I mean, I personally would also be interested in playing more of this game in the future.
right. Here's the thing. I wanted to go with this one is a little bit more this one's like a more of a technical challenge, like try to find the right pieces, what's going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's more of a mystery. There are ones that are a little bit more crunchy, where it's like, more horror than mystery, you know? But
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
wanted one that would fit within the time slot of a one shot, which
Hmm.
this did, you know?
Yeah. And we also BS'd a bit at the beginning and
I mean, it's a role playing game, right? Like,
no, no, I
this
mean,
is
I mean, outside of the game, like pre-game, we were, kind of
right,
talking, kind of getting some of our bearings about the
right.
game, about, the new person in the room, all that kind of stuff. So
No,
had we been able to just come right in at 8 o'clock, 8:10, like we normally do, and just get right into it, we
yeah,
probably would have. You wouldn't have had to shorten anything. We would have gotten through it. I mean, I tend to like thinking about a one shot more as a two shot. That way
right.
you can get the setup, you can get a lot of stuff done, and then the next time around you can kind of lengthen it out. Draw some of the other stuff out a
I
little bit more and come to the conclusion Um,
I like the setup of this scenario, but the only thing I'd have to say is that like I get the idea that it's interference coming in and messing with them, but like
mhm,
I wish it was a little bit more clear on certain aspects of it. But maybe that's
mhm, mhm,
intentional, you know.
Wait, can I ask
But
a
mhm,
question? Was that the end of it?
that was the end of yeah, you guys. So basically, you get to the end of the one shot. There's a couple of ways to get there.
Oh,
One
okay.
is like one of the intros is you're basically all radio interns. You're at the other end of it, and you're going out and you're like talking to the people, and then it's there's that way of doing it. But it feels so like you're all interns. Just felt like didn't feel right for the pre-gens. It's like, oh yeah,
mhm.
you're also all interns today. Like that didn't make any sense.
Hmm.
So I figured
Yeah.
it would be more fun for it to be that
So
you
they,
guys were
they
just
needed to be inside the building.
what's up?
They needed to be inside the building to cut them off from
Right.
the
They
interference.
needed to
Oh, okay.
be they needed to be in the building, not to cut them off for the interference, to do a counter spell. There's a spell going on, and then you need the angels to do the counter spell because they can run in the same frequency. That was
Oh,
the gag.
okay. I
Um,
see.
some of the angels were already being detrimentally affected by the original signal and were like blasting out messages from another world somewhere else. You know what I mean? About the
Mhm,
warning message.
mhm, mhm.
Um, one of the lead ups though, I will say is as the sand settles, um, you'll hear like like the radio goes on, and you'll hear something about like a figure has been spotted like on the outskirts of town, basically, and that would be like where it pans out, right? But yeah, it's a fun game. I like it because I think it's two big reasons. One, I have a lot of knowledge of that world memorized or somewhere in my brain, so that's fun. But man, I have to see how it plays out in like longer pieces and like how combat is before I give it a full verdict. It was a good time though.
Yeah, it was fun. I definitely enjoyed it. It was different, and I'm glad that we got to play different kinds of characters.
Right. Yeah, I enjoyed definitely like I enjoy the flavor of running a game here. I just have to figure out how if how I would run it, right? And that's where I'm at right now.
You know that '80s movie with I can't think of his name. He was like standing outside the girl's bedroom with the boombox playing music.
God, I don't know, man. I don't have a big verse of 80s movies.
John Cusack.
Yeah,
Say anything.
yeah, John
I
Cusack.
don't know how I know that. That is the weirdest thing that
We all
I don't
know
know
why
how
you
I
know
know.
that. So, anyway, Desmond goes back to his uh studio with a boombox, and he's playing Aerosmith's Angel.
Why is he gonna be mad creepy all game? What's wrong with this guy?
So the thing is that he wasn't trying to like seduce her or pick
No,
her
I
up,
know.
but he well, anyway,
All
he's
right.
just obsessed with like weird, bizarre things, and I thought that was pretty strange. Anyway,
All
good
right. Well,
good
I
time.
hope you had fun, even if like it was there were issues one way or the other. I still think it went well though.
It was fun.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
All right, night,
Bye.
guys.
Good night, guys. Thank you.